We're both a little on the red side, but that's better.
Right.
Oh, we're on.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I think we're recording. They're not oh, they're receiving now. All right. Hello everyone. It's Tuesday night. Welcome to the stream. I am Kim of Kim Fixes Things. You can find my channel elsewhere on the YouTube. I am here with your host, Buff Del Campo. And you know that because you're on the Buff Del Campo channel. Tonight is our in studio, our illustrious studio stream where we can easily use our green screen to share images, pictures. We talk about things and I try to keep it interesting. And I can move us around. Look at this. I can make us little so you can see the pictures better, right?
That's Dust Devil.
Put us in a little box so we can see Dust Devil's car better. I can move Dust Devil's car.
You might have trouble with that. Oh, you
I can move Dust
okay,
Devil
good,
around, right? I can move us around. Check this out. It's like magic, right? I can do things. I have powers, okay? So I use my powers, right, in a way to keep it interesting, visually stimulating. And Buff Del Campo uses his many years of knowledge and experience to entertain our neurons with interestingness. And we'll talk about really important stuff like what to put on hot dogs. And
start that whole mess again.
What else will we talk about that's interesting and important?
Man, I knew that would start some kind of controversy, but I didn't know it would be that big.
We'll talk about whatever we want. And this is a community stream, so it is not long-form content. We're going to be saying hello to everyone as they come into the chat and leave the chat. We'll be calling out people's channels because we actually want to promote you to go and look at other people's content, right? This isn't all about us. This is like a community effort to entertain and support and encourage each other and yeah, just have a good time. Tuesday is definitely dedicated to that. And I've been finding that later in the week when we do the late night streams, it ends up being all about just talking and stuff like that. I'm the only one who gets any work done. Everybody else just be chatting. That's fine too.
I did something. Not much.
I think that's good. It's good. You know, we don't have to get all this stuff done. This is what we love. This is our hobby. We are actually fortunate for this not to be our employment. So we don't have to meet some kind of specific numbers. We don't have to make a certain amount of profits or any of that garbage. We can just like have a good time and interact with friends. I am going to go back up to the top of the chat. We're going to see who was here first tonight. Who was here first tonight? Tim was here.
He was here. He was here way back, like
early.
As soon as I put it up yesterday, which I think was 17 hours early, he was on that minute.
We might have to put a cap on that, or maybe.
Why? Just let him come in.
All right. So Tim, you are the winner. You got here first and made a comment. So congratulations to you. I award you 2 points, which I think you already had some points. Didn't Tim already have? I think you might get to 7 points.
I've really lost track of the points.
Well, this is an on your honor points system. So if I award you points, you keep them. All right. So Tim is here. Mexican Spec is here.
No.
But no, Mexican Spec stopped in to let us know that he's taking his cat to the vet. So we hope that goes well for him. Dean Stevenson is here. Welcome to the stream, Dean. Dean, we enjoy you. So do your best to keep it on track, but we know you're going to get it off the rails. So
that's good. That's
so
good.
It's okay.
We're good.
Be yourself. Be yourself. We don't want you to change to try and Iceman.
We had a good time last night. He was in there. Was that last night? Yeah, he was in there. He went crazy last night.
He was there late. You guys were having a blast.
Good stuff.
Iceman 2010 says, hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Lester LeSabre is here. Welcome, Lester LeSabre, to the stream. I hope that your project is going well. I hope you haven't gotten too much cold weather already to slow you down. Talk about staggered wheels. Oh yeah, yeah. That car has some. It's tricked out. It is a really cool looking car. It's even cooler in person. Um, let's see. That car is cool. Yes, it is. John Hart is here. John, welcome to the stream. Says hello, Buffett, or well, says hi, Buff and Kim. Good to see you here. Uh, we've seen that too, Kimbergini. I'm not sure what we saw. Uh, Colleen of Mopars, Mustangs, and Minivans is here, says hello, everyone. Dented Dream Garage is here, says hello. KJ Kylie is here. Welcome, Kylie. Um, Hi, Kim, and hi, Buff. Dirt Road Landings is back. Welcome to the stream. Says hi, guys. Dean Stevenson. This is okay. This is interaction. JB's Little Shop is here. JB will be moderating tonight. Says howdy, everyone. Some wave emojis. Uh, Dirt Road Landing says the early bird gets the worm, but the second mouse that gets the cheese. Sure. All right. Some greetings back and forth. Oh, JB is editing video. JB, let Lars know that we were really impressed by the work he did videoing and then editing for the No Name Nationals event. It's some of the best drag racing video that I've seen come out of that event so far. It is very difficult to uh, record. It's one of those things like you almost just have to be there. But it was Lars did good stuff. That was as good as I've seen, without like the big professional rigs and having everything set up. And we're just not that official at our event. Bruce Culchin is here. Kim, Google snap-on wrench fight drive explanation. Flight drive explanation. Okay, I will check that out in a moment. We're almost through the greetings. Staggered wheels, Dust Devil.
That's actually gonna say Hot Wheels. Looks like a Hot Wheels car, doesn't it?
It does, and that's what he wants. He
Yeah.
wants it to look, as like he put a wing on it. Did he need a wing? No, he just thought a wing would make it look even cooler. Um, and he's still not. Of course, no, he'll never be done. Um,
Oh, good project cars are never finished.
all right. So I actually will look up that snap-on wrench flight drive. I don't know what that means, but we'll check it out. And I have been talking over you for a good 10 minutes.
It's been
Say
that long.
hello to everyone.
That you just sort of hit me by surprise. I don't know what to say. I'm just here. Um,
He
here.
knows I know how to say all the things at the beginning real fast.
Mike Ennis here. Good evening.
Oh, I know what will bring you up to some.
I don't know if you heard. Oh, bearings. Oh,
Oh, Mike N,
Fairmonts.
welcome to the stream. The wing adds 15 horsepower. I agree. At least, and traction.
Don't be bringing up Fairmonts. Okay, let's see. You can close that one. Let's
No?
bring up wrenches. Yeah.
Okay, I'll look at for this snap-on
Wrench. Flight. Drive. Explanation. Maybe explanation's not part of the search. I don't know.
industrial aviation.
Well, I thought this. Okay, go back. I thought you had it up there, and then you scrolled down from it. What was? Okay, scroll just enough so my head isn't in the way. I don't know. I thought that was it, but you went so quickly I couldn't see it. Snap-on dollars. Yeah.
Yeah, Snap-on's going to be your premium price tools.
I had a.
You
I
got to
had
buy
a.
them from a dealer,
I
and
had.
you're paying
Oh,
for the tool.
it's not flight drive. It's flank drive.
Well, that explains why I'm not always a mind reader.
No, but there was a typo, and then we're just keeping the typo going. Flank drive. Yeah, we were talking about flank drives. What was? Let's see if you can get it past me, which is the flank drive. Somebody, let's see here.
Blank drive. Reject the cookies. I'm rejecting them. Oh, are we talking about the price?
Just what they are.
I think we're.
Flank drive. Oh, I know. They're the ones that have the see up in the one end. They have. I think it's up in the
Do they have a
yeah,
little
up in that end, a
tooth
little
up there?
some kind of gizmo up there. I don't remember what that is, but no, I do. We were talking about that some nights ago, and I did not. I do not have any of those. Um, explication.
Continuous arc design distributes stress over the entire wrench opening radius for greater strength.
There's some kind of thing in there that.
Did you see that set is
Oh, I know
five
what
hundred
it. I
dollars?
know what it is. It's the well, it's a set. See the box end. It doesn't hit the flats on the edge. It hits it down in the middle of the flat, so it puts the. You got to look at the. Can you zoom on that box end?
I don't think I can.
You don't think you can? Oh yeah, you can. Okay, then.
Oh, look, see, it's got some little
Yeah, but scoot. Yeah, that, and then scoot you over on the other end.
juice.
See that hits. That hits in the middle of the flat, or partway down the flat instead of on the point. See, you're never going to round the point off. You're going to be putting pressure on the flat part of the bolt or the nut. Yeah, the flank drive has more positive bite on the fastener on the end of the search. Okay, I think that's what that means. And then that end up there, the other end that's on the
I
open
understand.
end. The open end also has some things up there that do the same thing.
But did you see what the price of this set is?
Oh, I don't know. What is it? How
It's
many are
five
in?
hundred dollars for the set.
How many are in it?
Oh, I don't know. 10 piece.
Yeah, it's $50 a piece. That sounds about right for snap-on wrenches.
I mean, are they made in America at least?
Why aren't all wrenches this way?
Because cheaper.
You know what? If you buy Snap-on, what Snap-on comes with is a very knowledgeable dealer, a dealer that shows up at your shop. If you're working every day in a shop, you can't just run off to some store and buy a wrench. So, you've got a Snap-on dealer that's smart and understands everything about the newest, latest, greatest tools. You've got the Snap-on research that does things like that everybody copies later. And that's why Snap-on costs more. And Bruce retracted something. Okay, Snap-on patented. Okay, and then they smart patented that this time. Olive's here. Good evening. Um, so, yeah, when I was working in a shop, professional, I couldn't leave. If I left, everything fell apart. I had to be there all the time. Snap-on dealer would pull up. There's also a Mac dealer and a Matco dealer. They would pull up with their trucks. I bought enough from them, those two dealers, that at least I was a customer and they'd help me if I needed help. The Snap-on dealer, man, that guy was great. He really knew his stuff. And in fact, he's made comments on my some of my videos. So he's still around. He's not dealing Snap-on anymore. He's retired, but he was he's good as they get. And that's what you're paying for. You walk into a store where they sell everything from lawnmowers to wrenches, and the person selling the wrenches maybe knows it's a wrench.
You know,
Snap-on man, or Snap-on. Well, I had a Snap-on uh, lady that was in Sharon, Pennsylvania, and same thing there. The Snap-on dealers really know their stuff. They know everything that they know about all this kind of stuff and how it grips a bolt better and everything. They're not just a big box store salesperson, you know. So
Rob
that's worth something.
Rob's Rods and Streetcars says, "Howdy, everybody. Buff and Kim. Welcome to the stream, Rob."
Well, see, Mike, you're going to wait for the cheap ones. That's fine. But if you're in a shop and you need the stuff as soon as the new cars have the stuff, you don't wait. You don't go to the Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight's like way over there somewhere. Snap-on truck pulls up. You get in there and you get you just that's what you do.
And you've
It's
already got
nice,
a
nice stuff.
giant Snap-on toolbox full of Snap-on tools.
Yeah, you could.
And if the Snap-on guy sees a bunch of Harbor Freight stuff in your toolbox, he's going to feel betrayed and
You,
he's going to be angry with you. And you don't want to piss off the Snap-on
you
guy
know,
because he's your bread and butter if you need him.
the other thing I did with
I don't
Snap-ons,
know though, because I just have a bunch of junk tools, a
my
big
top,
collection of
I had a
them.
bottom box that was a used Snap-on box that I got from the Snap-on dealer, and I had a radiator shop and I traded him a radiator for the bottom box. That was a really good deal. It was a used box, but it was in good shape. The top box I got a Par X. Par X is Snap-on's. Um, it's a Snap-on tool, but it's not quite as fancy. It doesn't have little chrome edges on it. It's all red. It says Par X on it instead of Snap-on, but it's still a Snap-on box. And I got it from the Snap-on dealer. So there's ways around the big bucks. Buy the Par X tools, you know. And here, more people.
Levi's Backyard Performance is here. Hello, all, he says. Welcome to the stream, Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan, how is your engine running again? I know you really struggled to do that
He was
in
in
No Name
Florida.
Nash.
I saw he had videos out. He
Oh,
was in
yeah.
Florida, and he did you get to run the car? I don't know. I saw a bunch of stuff. There's so much going through, and then I have been elbow deep in that dart for 2 solid weeks. It feels like every bit of energy that I have, I've been throwing into it. I was welding on the frame last night, trying to make patches on the frame rail. We've been rebuilding the front suspension, tearing down 2 motors, trying to get the best parts out of 2 motors into a new motor. What else have we been working on? Everything. I mean, it is blown completely up. And I'm
We were
just,
gonna come back to aluminum cars till we got everything apart except the aluminum car. Um, the
man,
Rob's Rods and Streetcar says I almost have Snap-on paid off. You know what I did? I had a little of that, and then I said, "Okay, I'm not doing that anymore." My first radiator shop, I got a Snap-on, not the dealer account, but I got a Snap-on company account, and I had to pay that off every month. So if I couldn't pay it off every month, guess what? I wasn't buying it. So it just became a business expense. It's like I had to make enough money to support myself and my tool habit. And yeah, it's just the way it is. And then Dylan says, tool truck's only good as the owner operator. There's the operator owner if he treats you right. I never had a problem with Snap-on dealer. I had a very good one out in California. The guy really knew his stuff. There was a woman that was a Snap-on dealer in Sharon, Pennsylvania. God, I can't think of her name right now, but anyway, she knew her stuff, and she was not a mechanic, but she was a somebody that paid attention to all the tools, knew how they worked, and she knew how to service the ratchets and everything. Same thing, good dealer there. And then there was one in Maryland that I barely knew, but he was at the airport a lot. I wasn't too far from the airport, and at lunch hour, he was up there at lunchtime, so I'd run up there to the airport, and which is like just short drive, like quarter mile, and I'd drive up there, and I bought stuff from him. He was pretty good, but I didn't know him well, but it was good to have him around. Okay, we got no leak.
I got a lot to. I'll read
Okay, yeah, go ahead, go ahead. I just wanted to address the
because
Snap-on thing
okay.
because there's a lot of people that don't like Snap-on because it's so expensive. Well, if you're not in a shop doing professional all day long work, yeah, go find a better
Yeah, you
deal. You
you
probably can. I
probably
I
don't
do
need
it.
it.
I do it now.
If you're working full time in a shop, you can also write off your tools as a business
You still
expense.
got to have the money to do it.
This
Yeah.
is true, but they'll take payments. Okay, Levi. told the story, and I think it's pretty interesting. Uh, he had leaks and got a DQ, and I don't know what that means, but they told him he couldn't run. Um, but he drove 16 hours home, slept 2 hours, and went to the local track. At the local track, got number one qualifier position, and went on to go personal best 3 times in a row. It was the most fun I'd had all year. There you go. Sometimes it just ain't meant to be, and you find yourself in the place where you belong. I'm glad that you did so great at the local track. Congratulations on personal bests, and thank you for coming in here and telling us about your success. Sometimes it feels like a real failure, and I know you've been struggling and working hard, and it turned into some good success for you. You love to see it. Um, Olive says my friend is still in business and likes Mac better these days. I'm sure it depends greatly on your dealer specifically. And like Iceman says, his Snap-on man called everything abuse and didn't do warranties. The difference. There's personalities involved, very much so. Um,
Had a big screwdriver. It's probably like I can't even make my arms go that big in the screen. Big screwdriver anyway. Big around flat blade screwdriver. Yeah, and I broke the tip off of it. I was trying to get a bumper off a rusty car, and I was frying with it, and I snapped the tip off of it. So that week when the Snap-on guy came in, I said, "Hey, I got a warranty job here, and this this tip's broken off this screwdriver." He looks at me and he goes, "What were you doing with that?" And I said, "I had the screwdriver," and I said, "I had it in a screw, and I was turning really hard, and it snapped off." And he just started laughing. He goes, "Yeah, yeah, give it to me." And he put a new blade in it for me. But he knew I was prying with it. But he was just giving me a little bit of a hard time. But he took care of it. Oh, I had a radiator shop. Rust is a problem in radiator shops because of the chemicals. And the first day I bought that shop, he pulled in there, and I said, he says, "You need to buy a toolbox." Some other stuff. I said, "Yeah." I said, "You- I said, you Snap-on has a warranty against rust, don't they?" He goes, "In there?" And I go, "Yeah, in there." And he goes, "Okay." And I bought that was the day I bought the Parex toolbox, and I bought a whole bunch of wrenches and stuff. And he never regretted telling me that. Okay. And there was a woman that worked for me for quite a while. She was a pretty good mechanic. She was good with air conditioning, really good with air conditioning. And she had a Matco habit. I don't know if you know Matco or not. Matco's a tool company, same thing, has trucks, high quality tools. But she bought everything Matco, and she had a nice toolbox. Anyway, go ahead. I overtook the whole thing.
you didn't honestly. That's what the whole chat is talking about: the
Okay.
Snap-on versus the Matco guy.
Yeah, Pride Driver. Yeah, there you go.
And I am just keeping it real.
Well, and then I asked Levi a question. Dylan, what about your car? And then I just walked all over me. Never. Sorry about that. What are we? Oh yeah, there's Matco. Matco truck. Matco has good high quality tools too, and they're probably not quite as expensive as Snap-on. I'm not sure.
The tool truck people are usually the highest end, forged high grade steel tools. They're the least likely to break, which is really what you want when you're professionally working. You don't want your tools to break. You don't want to have to stop what you're doing and go in for a warranty on a tool. You want it to, especially there's a lot of people who work service on the road. Like if you work on big rigs, you take your tools with you. And if you're out in the field working on a truck and you snap a wrench off or twist off the tolerance on your wrench aren't close enough and you twist off something and now you've turned a 1 hour job into a 10-hour job, like it easily paid for lots better tools. Get the best tools you can get if you're doing it professionally. Oh, I had a
Oh, Iceman says he buys sockets from Menards because they sell singles. You know, the same thing with Lowe's. And Lowe's, the what was the Lowe's brand? Now they got all this stuff.
Cobalt.
Yeah, Cobalt. They have all this what's the red one they have now? Craftsman. But
Yeah.
but Lowe's, you can still go in and get single sockets that are from Cobalt. There's nothing wrong with those sockets. I've abused the hell out of them. And the only reason I've had to replace them as singles is because little ones, I lose them sometimes. And then I can't find them. I got to buy another one. But I don't think I've ever broken one. And somebody gave me a hard time on one of the comments because I ran a non-impact rated socket on an impact wrench. Of course, it didn't break, but the guy that made the comment gave me a hard time about it. But I abused sockets on impact wrenches all the time, and I think in my whole 40 or 50 years or whatever working, I think I've split one. I split a 12-point socket one time. Uh, it was like a 7/16 or a half-inch 12-point deep socket on a half-inch impact wrench. Yeah, I broke it. So, yeah, that's the way it is.
Uh Tommy Hanlon has welcome to the stream. Hello from Dublin.
Yeah,
Glad you're here, Tommy.
middle of the night there. Tommy, you must be a night person. You're up all night. We are too. We just seem to work in the shop at night real well.
I bought a nice little mini metric set from AutoZone because like this a couple of singles that I needed was the price of a whole set. But I broke the wrench right off the 3/8 drive wrench. I broke it real quick. But I was working up in the Rust Belt and I was really pushing tools to their limits. Really pushing tools to their limits. I like it here because even old cars here, a 3/8 drive is enough. Sometimes I can do work on these old cars with 1/4 inch drive ratchets because stuff just comes apart. It's
Well,
like what?
and I have such a collection of 1/4 inch drive because the aircraft, a lot of aircraft fasteners are small. So
They're nice for getting into
I
tight
I have
spaces.
a huge collection of 1/4 inch drive ratchets and speed handles and sockets and goes on and on. The 1/4 inch drive stuff I have more than anything else.
JB, I didn't say hello when you got here. You know what else you find? The old tools are Proto, and I think Proto got absorbed by Snap-on at some point. They're
Really?
really good quality tools if you can find them, but they're defunct. Um, uh, Sorry, I got lost in the chat. It's scroll. I got lost in the scroll. What do you have to say? I'm just having fun. You know, though, we have not gone to a pawn shop to browse in a long time. We probably should because I'll bet you a lot of stuff gets pawned from the military base.
Who
I bet you a
knows?
lot of
You know,
stuff.
the military is pretty careful with accountability, but what happens is at some point they sell stuff, and I know there's stuff
Not
like
military stuff. I just
oh,
mean there's
because
a
the
lot of
people
people
there
who
they pawn stuff because they're running out of money. Yeah, young
yeah,
people. Yep.
or they're moving and they just need to downsize.
The military does sell stuff off though, and
I doubt they sell it to pawn. I think they have to
no,
like
I don't think they sell it to pawn.
auction or
I think they
something.
auction it somewhere. Yep. On base auctions or something. SK makes. See, there's all these different tool companies. This must be a thing about Cork. Cork is a place. There's a little town in Ohio called Cork, and my shop was real close to there. In fact, my youngest son went to the Cork elementary school when he was young.
Who sells SK stuff? I think I remember seeing SK tools.
I don't know
Um,
anymore. And there's good ones now. One-eyed cat, how you doing?
oh,
Man, I
that's
was watching you this morning, or maybe it was this afternoon. Maybe it's this afternoon. I don't know. Sometime during the day, I clicked on YouTube, and there's you putting studs, big, long, hefty studs in your rear axles. It was pretty good work, pretty good video work, because you got right in there with a camera and you could see where the stud, when the stud got in there far enough that it was in all the way. And you showed that. I kind of like that. Somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, somebody that hasn't done that before, could see it, but it wasn't really a how-to. It just, you did good video work. Pretty good stuff.
The map gas thing, I've also noticed that a little bit of jarring impact. Like if you intentionally give stuff a whack, rust, it so if you hit it, it breaks it up, and then you soak it with the penetrant, and then you put the heat on it, and now that's like your combination. Or you could move further south where there's less salt and things actually come apart instead of fusing into one giant ungodly lump.
OTC is pro grade. Yeah, I got some OTC tools. What's that big box of puller stuff I have? Oh, it's a slide hammer for pulling axles or something. I got this
Oh yeah.
big box up there. It's OTC. I got some other OTC tools. Oh, there's one I can do a short on. Except we got to pull an axle out of something.
One-Eyed Cat is here. Welcome to the
Yep.
stream. Thank you for
And
coming in.
One-Eyed Cat said he was in Elyria, Ohio. I know where that is. That wasn't too far from where I used to live. OTC junction block clip removal tools were great. Great Neck. Oh yeah, Great Neck. Don't they still make Great Neck? You buy Great Neck in drugstores and stuff. I bought a Great Neck. Oh, it wasn't too long ago, a year or so ago. I bought a little tiny hacksaw so I could get into something. I think it was Great Neck. It's up there.
I think SK Tools would maybe be the kind of thing that
Where you get them?
those are Amazon brand tools, I think.
Okay. Yeah, they might sell them.
Oh, Northern Tool.
Proto is owned by Stanley. Was originally Plum. Oh man. I
forgot
have
about Stanley.
I have some Plum tools. I have I don't know where it is. I haven't seen it in a while, but it's got to be around somewhere. I've got a long, skinny punch. It's kind of dark grayish color, and it says Plum on it. I used to use that all the time. Dr. Art's here. Good evening.
Who has a full-size Bronco for sale? Asks Dr. Art. Dr. Art, there is a black, like 1990 full-size Bronco, on a used car lot up the way from us that I saw on Marketplace a while ago, and they took down the listing, but I know it's still sitting on the lot. So it's been sitting for a while. It probably has a little bit of a lot deterioration from time, but it was reasonably complete, and they weren't asking an absurd amount of money for it. So
what lot? Do you know the name of the lot? Or it's one of those lots up there that doesn't have any name along the road.
You know where we get the cut off end pieces of metal sometimes, where that metal place is.
Yeah, it's on the bypass. It's on 41 bypass. Is that place?
It's right up by there.
Okay.
So I don't know if that.
We'll have to find that and send you a.
I depends on what you're looking for
and
why. We might be able to elaborate and point you towards them. But I don't know what your purpose is, and they, it's a lot, so they probably want more than you're hoping to have to pay. Dean Stevenson says, as long as you have a spare washing machine, you can repair a vehicle from the rust belt. We'll use the word repair very loosely, but yes, a good, what was that? Woolworth or, anyways, a good washing machine will provide you with a lot of sheet metal. Iceman says, I would say between my heavy-duty DeWalt electric impact and electric grab, best tool money I ever spent. The impact zips everything off, and the ratchet saves tons of time. Yes, a good 18-volt impact driver.
We have a couple of those, and they just
wail.
Yeah.
Now there's a I have found though that a good breaker bar. I have that old what's that clicky wrench that doesn't work anymore called a
Well, it's a
I have an
torque
old
wrench.
torque wrench
Just a
that
torque wrench you found in a
is
gutter.
way out of spec, but it's nice and long, and I'll use it as a breaker bar. And it just, as soon as you can get a pop, and then you impact it the rest of the way off, but the impact won't always break them.
Really?
Yeah, even your big ones, sometimes it won't break it. And it depends on which battery I use. If
That
I
big
use the
one's like
really big battery,
300 foot-pounds.
sometimes I got to do it by hand because I'm just tough like that, and it is not. Let's see. SK Wayne. There's an oldie Bruce. I think they dropped the Wayne in the late 70s, 80s. Oh, I see.
I
It's a
forgot
it's a
about Wayne.
rebadge of an old
I
setup.
forgot about Wayne. Wow.
JB's little shop is busy editing. Hope he's not out a factor of 10 in his videos. A factor of 10? I don't know. It's
What
a
is
lot
Tommy
of
Hanlon?
work.
Is this real? How about King Dick tools were made in England? Very good quality spanners and sockets, besides the
I will
great
look it
name.
up. I will look
Look
it
it
up.
up. Let's see what that's all about. I was in England. I never
I
even heard
I
of
wouldn't
them.
be surprised because I've seen a bunch of companies
That's
that have that in the
nothing can
name.
touch King Dick, Tom.
All right.
Oh, if that's real, I gotta find some of those on eBay and buy 'em.
All I gotta say is if this is no, it is. It's a thing. Here, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up. It's a thing.
Wow. It's on eBay. There are King Dick tools on eBay.
There you go. It's a such thing. I just
Okay,
want you all
they're
to know that if you start throwing out words that are a little bit and I catch you using words for things that don't actually exist just so you could say bad words in the chat, I will time you out.
I like
This
this.
is real, so it's valid.
JB says
It's a tool.
there's a white Bronco that runs around here with a plate, not OJ. Don't know if they were sold in the States. Well, that's a eBay listing. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course, people
somehow
move
they
stuff
got
around.
here at some
People
point.
move stuff around.
Let's see. It's a metric joke. Oh, off by a factor of 10. I see. Uh,
Oh man,
yeah, you can't get it back. There's plenty of Broncos around.
that'd be pretty cool. A right-hand drive Bronco from down under. That'd be kind of interesting, but kind of expensive. These are 20-volt max. Okay, yeah, the 20-volt where I worked, they had a bunch of DeWalt's and the batteries failed so quickly. They're just terrible. I hated them. And then they bought more DeWalt's, and those were really good. They were 20-volt, and those things were great tools. And the batteries seemed to hold up just fine. So I don't know what the problem was. They probably had a bad batch of batteries or something that they were 18 volts. But that was quite a few years ago. We had the bad batteries. But mine are all, not all, but most. Um, what are the green ones?
SK?
Hmm?
The green what?
My impact wrenches.
Ryobi.
Ryobi, yeah. And I don't have a problem with Ryobi 18 volts.
JB broke a snap-on breaker bar, but had good success with a Harbor Freight one. They can be. Some people don't like mismatched sets.
I think I've broken
The
one
snap-on man won't replace Harbor Freight parts, so if you have a regular snap-on man, it's nice to have. And a lot of times, snap-on guy, he sells you a big set to start, and then you just maintain it for forever. I don't know. Buy what you want.
The only Harbor Freight tool I've ever broken, it wasn't like a cheap screwdriver, you buy whole sets of screwdrivers for like $8 or something. But the only thing that I've ever, and then I use them for pry bars. The only thing I ever broke was it was a 3/8 drive little shorty ratchet. It just broke right away. The ratcheting mechanism defective or something. I took it back and handed me a new one. Get out of here. I said, okay, thanks. Let's see, what is this? Like global carbol. I don't know what that is. What's Dean talking about? I missed
I don't know,
something.
but Tommy, don't wear it out. Don't wear it out, okay? You're allowed to say it. Just because you're allowed to say it does not
What are you
say
doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What'd
I'm
you do?
removing that. You
What'd you
can't
do?
just keep blurting it out,
What do you?
okay?
Okay.
You're
So you
allowed to say it, but don't go just saying it,
okay? So
okay?
you got rid of something. I missed it. I missed it.
He kept saying the name of those tools that
Oh,
have the word in them. It's fine, but there's
so
limits
I
here.
don't know. I don't know what he said about it.
He just said it over and over again a bunch of times.
uh, I should get away with things the other guys cannot. Yeah, maybe that's true. Asphalt asset. But best addition to breaker bar is the pipe handle. Yeah, when I when we get finished with a live, I go in and I monetize it. So anybody watches it afterwards, then they can watch the commercials. But when it's before it's while we're still live, I don't run commercials. But when I go in there to monetize it, I've got to check in there whether it's there's any bad language. There's different levels of language. And I always put, yes, there is, but it's the lowest level. And I don't know where they draw the line there. So I don't know. I just guess.
It's fine. There ain't no kids watching all this. They'll be so bored.
They're probably out use the words. Let's see. When I cat, what's going on when I cat? I have three. I missed what that was.
A good strong breaker bar is
Oh,
definitely a real asset to a tool collection. I'm glad that we don't really have to. I know when I was younger though, I broke off some sockets and breaker bars and man, glow ball car bell. What does that
I
mean?
don't know, but it's Dean saying something that's I don't know.
Global
Go
carbon?
global. I don't know. Bad trigger words. Yeah.
I don't know. What are
I
we
don't know.
talking about?
I don't know. We were talking
We've
about
been talking
tools and we
about
got
tools
off.
a lot. All the different brands of tools. I mean, I guess if you start talking about tools with a bunch of people who work on cars
What's
and
this
mechanic
Dean?
stuff.
Everything remotely Ricky was banned in Ireland. The result was creating a whole society that communicated in innuendo.
Ah, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
The
So
word police.
yeah. Well, there's the one that we're not allowed to use that I got caught on. And we went over it last week. Was it like advancing the timing or de-advancing the timing because the R word is not allowed on YouTube?
Yes. Backing off the
Backing
advance.
off the advance, yeah. Let's see. Don't say it, Kim. Dang. Okay.
I
Well,
still don't know what I
wait,
said.
you're repeating what he's saying. It must be something. It
He's
must be
trying to
something.
lure me into
He's
some
trying to
kind of
lure you in.
trouble. Some kind of trouble. Did anyone send you pictures this week?
People sent me pictures.
Well, why are we not looking at any
Well,
of
because
those
I was kind of
pictures?
waiting for people to come in that are that
I
their
think
pictures are
everybody who
there.
was going to be, I think probably people have already come and
Well, I know
gone.
Tavo is working. In fact, Tavo said that he was he may be, what did he say? They are they're short on people, and he may not
Oh,
even get his he may not get his break. I don't know from the sound
poor
of things.
guy.
But what Tavo sent me,
That doesn't seem fair. So if you would like to send us
here's
photos,
Tavo.
that is the email address where
Okay,
we will get
I
them.
gotta take this off.
Oh,
Dust
okay, and
Devil.
I've
I'll
got to
take
change
Dust
my
Devil. Yeah, you
thing.
gotta change your thing.
Whoop.
And then
There
I'll
we are. We're down at the bottom. We're small.
and this is
I'll
this
make us
is
even smaller. How's
this
that
is
sound?
Tavo 40 years ago
Nice.
in a let's see what your
A
Chrysler is
green
that?
car.
In a green car. Yeah, it's a Chrysler. Um let's see.
Right, Iceman. You're probably right. We probably should be very
It's a
careful to avoid any of that kind of
it's a,
terminology.
it's a 76 Chrysler,
Christ.
which is an A body down there. He goes, but it's a little bigger. It's about the size of an E body. And he
Yeah.
says it had a 360 in it with a 727. And he goes, that was quite a car then. That was a sought after car. God, that's Tavo 40 years ago. Man, I got pictures of me 40 years ago. Probably, well, the pictures with my cougars all 40 years. It's more than 40 years ago.
Tommy!
Yeah, okay, just leave it. Leave it. But just don't let's just end it. Let's see. Ever been someone talk about the dual hard drives on a PC? The main one is called it.
Yeah, yeah, you see where that could go
Yeah.
wrong. Yeah, don't.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing with
It
brake.
is a drive array at
It's
this
the
point.
it's the same thing with brake parts and hydraulic clutches and
Yeah,
all these
terminology's got to
things.
change just to so people aren't put off by it. I mean, I can change. I'm flexible. If I have to change a little bit of word to make people more comfortable, whatever. Whatever. It doesn't have to be a big deal. 4 pinion Borg Warner 78 9-bolt axle. 25 spline, 4 pinion Borg Warner 78 9-bolt. He's just saying stuff.
Spline. Yeah, he said spline.
Dean says you can time me out.
That's how he doesn't come in here very often, but he's been in here. Is what's his name?
What did he say this car is?
Dakota's timeout, and you know how Dakota's timeout got his name because he was Dakota, and he was 16 years old, and he'd go in there and John Wilburn always timing him out on Uncle Tony's. Well, he showed up at the gas station one time with his parents and his brother. The whole family showed up there, and they're all car people, you know. So when he was leaving, I said to him, "I know what you call your channel. Call it Dakota's Timeout." And I was kind of joking with him, and he became Dakota's Timeout because he's timed out so many times.
I do have a filthy mind, and I know you were talking about tools. Okay.
He's talking about shop tools. Okay, Charlie Murphy.
Oh, Iceman asked a real question, and I don't.
Oh, where is it? Where is it?
He 746. He says, "Is it a Valiant?" You said it's considered an A body.
It's
badged a Valiant.
It's a Chrysler. He says it's a '76 Aussie Chrysler. It was just called a Chrysler.
Oh, okay.
An upmarket, longer wheelbase version of the Valiant. Still a smallish car by U.S. standards, but about the size of an E-body.
Okay, but not called a Valiant. It was just called a Chrysler. So there you go. That's the answer. When someone asks a real question, I hate
he'd like to have that car back, but that was his car 40 years ago.
40 years ago.
So it's
wow.
That was probably a pretty good
They were telling me last night when we were streaming and working in the garage that nobody cares about a Slant 6, and it kind of hurt my feelings. And I was just laughing about it. I just laughed it off at the time, but I thought about it, and I'm like, nobody cares about my Slant 6? I'm doing all this and nobody cares?
Okay, I'm getting emails in, but I'm going to show something else
first. I like
first.
my Slant 6 car. I don't want to do all the work to put a V8 in it. It's not going to be any better. It's still just going to be a four-door Dart.
Oh, I can't find the picture I'm looking for.
Chrysler, by Chrysler. A friend of my sister's has one. That's pretty cool.
Where is it?
And some of them were called Chrysler Valiants. Yeah, well, the Valiants look more like a Valiant. They don't look. This looks more like. What'd you say? An E-body?
Yeah, an E-body, which is like a what, a Challenger or something. You know what? I don't know where this picture is.
I am a little mild, right? But I could tell some stories, and they would get us. They would get us demonetized. I have mildly walked into some situations and been like,
"Oh, here it is.
I'm down for this."
What he say? Dean said.
What?
KJ Kylie says I'm 65 and immature. Dean Stevens says I'm 54-year-olds and immature. I don't believe you're 54. Here is a picture of Dean Stevenson. Does that look like a 54-year-old guy? Dean. Yeah. I wish I looked like that when I was 54.
He's got good color in his hair for 54. I'll give him that.
Man. Huh.
Right. It looks like a scaled down 71 Corvette. forward.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, it does.
yeah.
It does. It looks better than the Coronet. That grill and surround bumper and everything, it looks pretty good.
Challenger Barracuda
Yeah, yeah, it's the
equals
E-body.
E-body.
Yeah, and he
Okay.
says it's about the size of an E-body, so maybe, yeah, he says it's like a stretched Valiant. Huh. Let's see, what else do I have here? Somebody else just sent pictures. I'm gonna have to.
Iceman sent some pictures of his old Chrysler. My son and nephew in the old Cordoba LS.
Who was it?
Very
Oh,
nice.
Iceman. Yeah, here he is. Okay, I'm gonna download these. It'll take me a second to get them over to
Cool.
where I want them.
I like that we're back to looking at pictures of friends with
Oh,
cool
where's that
cars.
one? Where's that one? There's the other
Everybody
one.
get your cool car pictures to us if you can.
Okay, so
If
now
you
we're
feel
going
like it.
to.
And it's on YouTube.
Yeah, don't send them all like at once. Oh, how do I fix this problem? Somehow I gotta redo this. How do I fix this?
Is there anybody who hasn't popped in to see what's going on with the Dart? Should I talk about it again? I feel like I've been talking about it for days endlessly. I don't want to overdo it. And
Okay, here we go. Oh, what car is that?
Cordoba.
Oh man, I like those Cordobas. I'm trying to get it so I
That's
can
just
scooch
kind
it
of
up.
like Dr. Go's car, isn't it?
Yeah, his is a Cordoba LS. I don't know which Cordoba this is. I can't slide it
He
up
said
any.
it's a Cordoba LS.
Oh
There's
man.
no more picture, I don't think. I think that's the
Yeah,
end
but
of
yeah,
the
it's
picture.
just because it's there. I can't scoot it upwards. Yeah.
No, I think that's the edge. Here, look. Here's the bottom edge of the
Yeah,
picture.
yeah, but I mean, when I zoom in, I can't scroll it up. But that's
Okay.
just okay. Then he has other pictures from inside.
Ah,
He's
that's
got
the
the same
children.
steering wheel that Dr. Go has on his, which he said he had to order it like that. Wow.
Well, because it's an LS.
Yeah, but I mean, he had the LS came with a different steering wheel, so I don't know what the deal is on that. Yeah, see here, I can zoom in and then I can do that. But the other one, you're right. It was at the bottom enough that I couldn't do that.
They look happy to be there.
You know,
Got the
when I was that age, I could sit in a driver's seat and hold the steering wheel. Man, I thought I was somebody.
yeah. My Dodge Aspen had that console shift automatic. That was a pretty neat feature.
Yeah, look big grin on his face. I'm a driver.
Yeah, they're having a good time being in the car. Jump Car
Jet Car
Willie,
Willie,
welcome to the stream.
Tool Man. Hey, it's good to see you here. You know, I really want to talk to you. Now's the time, I guess. We were gonna go to. I guess I left a comment somewhere. I don't know if you saw it. We were gonna go to
Land
the
speed,
land speed record,
timing.
but you know what happened? My car got wrecked. So I don't know. Just everything was in a upheaval, and we ended up not going. So
It was
springtime. There's one in May. Maybe I'll have another car by then.
it was very disorienting to go through that situation and then not know what was going to happen for the next couple days,
Well,
especially
I was right in the middle of negotiating with insurance companies, which is still going on.
yeah,
And
it
so
was
yeah, it just was a not a good time to go
yeah, all of a
traveling away
sudden
from home.
money felt very stressed, and it was a little bit we just I tried to convince him. He didn't want to go, and he was getting pretty sore, and I was exhausted, and it was just like, okay. It was easy for him to talk me out of it.
Man, that's another car. There's a couple of cars right now. When I get my payment for my car eventually, it's supposed to be pretty soon here. When I get that, I need to buy another daily driver. And if I found a really clean Cordoba LS, like like an 81 or something, that would be maybe a car. And the other one I'm really looking at is the Ford Fairmont Futura, the little coupes. And I like those. And Fox bodies, anything Fox body, I like, but the Mustangs, they want so much for them. And I had a Futura coupe, and I really like that car. So yeah.
All right, so we got
But
some comments.
I'll have a daily driver pretty soon that I can make trips to
Eventually,
Arkansas.
we'll get there. Okay,
Okay.
we got some comments in favor of the Slant 6. JB says one of my favorite cars that comes to our shows is a 1970
JB John
Challenger.
Bossum's.
1970
Oh,
Challenger
I
with a
missed that.
Slant 6. Boy,
Okay.
I would like a Challenger. That would be a cool car. But I like my Dart. It's cool. Another is a 1971 Moulin Rouge Barracuda with a slant six and a 3-speed. That's kind of neat. Those are cool cars. And the slant six is a pretty good powerhouse. Somebody else said, John Bossoms says slant six engines are fantastic. I have one myself in a Dodge D150, and you are not wasting your time. I have actually have quite a bit of history with slant six engines. It is the engine I know best. I have had a multitude of cars that were slant six powered. My first Mopar was a 72 Dodge Dart. It had several slant sixes. I had a 4-door parts car that was a slant six, and that was when I was a teenager. And then as I got a little older, about 10 years later, I had about 4 different cars and a pickup truck, 2 different pickup trucks with slant sixes. And then currently, another 15 years later, we have a Valiant, a Dart, and a spare motor, slant six powered. So I've had a lot of time looking at slant sixes, owning slant sixes, driving slant sixes, and I feel very comfortable and confident because I know end to end the whole thing. So if something's not right, I can pinpoint in and get things corrected. They aren't the greatest motor ever built. They're very durable. They're easy to work on. They're not too expensive. Those are good things for me. You know, I'm not trying to make the fastest car ever.
I want to say something here, Junk Car Willie. I saw one of the shout outs that on a short you did. I missed the other one, I guess. You're putting up a lot of stuff. It's hard to watch it all because and I don't get. I got to actually go into your channel and look because they all these recommended videos. I get a lot from you, but I know it's not all of them. And then so you got to go riding. 177 riding shotgun, Tom Harley 57. Oh, I gotta see
Wow.
that. And then 38's here. How you doing? Good evening. And then let's see what else. I know there's something else from Jim Car Willie. I don't know. Yeah, but I'm paying attention to you as much as I can. Sometimes Kim's like, "Are you still in there watching videos?" Because I do it too
I
much.
do. I got to drag him away so we can get some stuff done. Because at the end of the day, he looks around and he says, "Oh, I didn't get any of my stuff done." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah, but
because
I
you've been
watch like
watching
watch
videos."
like 80 videos about cars.
Yeah, and
It's
all the people that we enjoy content from, you can't keep up with everyone. You have to pick and choose. So
Nice Man says 68 through 72 charges of slants were rare. Yeah, I remember seeing a couple of those, like a 68 or 9 or something, come in a radiator shop, and I'd open up the hood and there'd be a slant in there. It's like, wow, look at this. Uh, black one, like on the picture up now. Okay, just scrolling by. I was like thinking, and you were talking, so I'm
it's
sorry.
okay. A lot of people are greeting each other. Dean Stevens says it's the ECTA Motorsports Horsepower Harvest. And if you
Oh,
want to see content about the land speed records here in the eastern part of the country at that horsepower harvest, Junk Car Willie uh, is he's the person who is officially there to document.
well, and I noticed they have a news. They got you on the other side of the other side of the track now, and they have a some kind of digital readout there, and you flash over to it, and I got to stop it real quick so I can read it. But they, yeah, at least you get to see the speeds now. That's pretty good. The video's not out on my land speed running the 94 Viper. I can't wait to see this stuff.
That'll be cool to see. Yeah. It's difficult to record everything, take in all the event, and edit video. It is more than a one person job. We have not even put together a video about the No Name Nationals, and it's because we are more going to make a video about our experience of putting the dart together for the event. Um, because that's the content I really have recorded, and we just enjoyed the event. So, um, and other people are doing, like Lars just put a fantastic video about the event and showing a lot of cars doing burnouts and launching cars, and it was great. And I don't have video that is competitively entertaining. Not like it's a competition, but I look and I'm like, nobody really wants to see my video. I would rather watch Lars's video. It's better. So I'm trying to put a video that's the best video that I can make, and it takes a lot of time and work.
So my
Storytelling is super important. You know, I have to consider what a viewer is going to want to see. And I know I had a 2-hour video about putting the dart together and taking it to No Name Nationals, and I need to make it more like less than an hour. And I still think that people won't want to watch that long. I don't know, maybe. Some of you guys will watch it, but not a lot. I have to think about the larger audience, what is palatable for them. And honestly, the other thing is right now a lot of people are still, the weather is nice and people are still working and busy. And then once the cold and the dark of winter come, people will be looking for entertainment, and that is probably when I will focus on getting it done and getting it out, because there'll be a bunch of people who are looking for more entertainment. So
here's a mirror image of Junk Car Willie. How'd you do that? Uh, so anyway,
oh,
there he is. And then this
who's he with?
177 mile an hour. Oh, where's my
Nice.
cursor? My cursor just something's upset. Here we go. Oops, that's too far in. Oh, Kim, I'm struggling with this. Oh, you've got everything moved up in the corner.
Oh,
So
well, I can change it.
yeah, there now I can zoom in. It'll make more sense instead of
Okay.
zooming out like that.
John Carr Willie says he has an interview coming with Keith Turk. For 20 years, he built David Freiberger race cars, a big man behind the YouTube show Roadkill, and an editor for Hot Rod. Lots of good stories. Oh, looking forward to that. That'll be great. And John Carr Willie is like the Jack and the Beanstalk beans. He just grows and grows and grows. He is a wonderful success story. I love to see it. Love to see it. I love to see people in our community grow bigger and faster than we do. I mean, I just want to see people be encouraged and supported. That's me. Buff Del Campo wants you all to fail so he can be the biggest.
What?
No, he doesn't. We
That's
like
you
it.
and Ron Kilowask. Pronounce that name for me. Kilowaski
Pulaski?
is he must be he did 71 Winston Cup races and went 260 miles an hour in a 63 Corvette.
Oh,
That's that guy.
man. Oh, that's Ron Kiloski. Nice. Okay. Thank you, John Carr Willie. 38 Racing says, sounds like my video that might be out later this fall. I have to change how I organize my recordings. And now I used to just go by date, right? Because I would maybe work for a couple of days and then put together a video and then put it out. Whereas now I'm finding that I really need to organize by project, right? I work on the Dart. I got to put all the videos that involve working on the Dart in a Dart progress folder and just stack it up until it's time to make a Dart progress video. Figure out a way to make bookends, a beginning and an end for the video, and then put that all together. Because I was looking, I realized that I had archived some of the files because they were from like April. I had files from when I was working on the Dart this spring to get it ready for No Name Nationals. So like, man, so I had to really pull deep from the well. I am trying harder. I got a laptop and GoPros. That's great, Junker Willie. I would love to work with you some, but we're struggling to keep things going together here. I wish I had more time and energy. Man, it is a lot of work running a successful channel, and we are still very small. I'm learning about this folder idea. Right, 38? Like, Oh yeah, you always as soon as I go from my camera to my computer, I need to organize it or else it stacks up too much. So, yeah, you got to figure out where it goes.
See, see this. This is JB sent this, and he has slant. Let's see exactly what he wrote. I think he wrote slant e-bodies. Let me see what he wrote. Slant e-bodies. That's exactly what he wrote. So that's what that is. And here's, I think, a picture of the car. Look at that.
Wow. And it's got a one barrel carburetor on it. That's crazy.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
I'm just surprised that somebody has not pulled that engine out and put something big in there. 340 or 360.
Since he has an interview with me, I knew that, but I knew you were like interviewing everybody. I think you no name nationals. You did enough video for a year, but you're putting them out fast, and you're still, man. You did a lot of video.
I am terrible at organizing ice, man. If
Look at
I
that.
could organize, I would be unstoppable, but I am not. I am all over. You should see the garage with I've got the dart all disassembled. There are parts everywhere. Everywhere. That is a Holly 1920 single barrel carburetor on that car.
And you can see that
Itty tiny because the
because
fuel line goes in the side.
it's right. That's
Yeah.
it's pretty good. You know this from experience. Yeah, that's a 70. That's pretty nice car.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Cuba Cobras are the shiznit though. I'm down for a nice set of
Oh,
Cuba
what's this? It's
Cobras.
small, but
Itty
we can make it
tiny.
bigger.
Oh, there's a Slant 6. Oh, it's a rusty Slant 6 in a really
I don't
nicely
know.
painted
I don't
car.
know if it's rusty. It's just not real. It's not real clean.
Oh no, that's a nasty, rusty old thing.
Look at the oil filler, not the oil filler, but the cap with the air cleaner part of the uh, positive crankcase, part of the PCV system.
Mm-hmm.
You
It's
know
got the
about those.
breather.
Okay, let's see here. Um,
Tommy, the idea of being able to, earn an income from doing art and hobby stuff, it's very alluring, but it also comes with a lot of stress, a lot of hard work, a lot of technical expertise. Most of the people who are successful, they have a team of people working with them. There are some people like Uncle Tony, it's just him and Kathy. But then again,
and the dogs.
along the way, there was a lot of people that worked with Tony. And they are where they are now, but they did get a lot of collaborations and help along the way. So, I mean, it's you don't get there alone. And why would you want to? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think there's something a little bit mentally not right about wanting to like be on the top with everyone else beneath you. Like I want us all to find success so that we can continue working on our hobby and collaborate and that's me.
the look at that. That's a slant six as well. Yeah, and JB, I noticed it was a 70, and I said it was a 70 because
I
I know
like
you
the
made the
white
correct.
I like the white car a little better than the pink car.
Yeah, I'd have a hard time. Yeah, I like that, but I don't want to drive that around. It's like Camaro in 2011. They had this really bright green color for 1 year on the Camaros, and I had one as a rental, and it was so cool to drive for about a day, and then it was everybody looking at me. Cops looked at you couldn't make a mistake in that car. So,
Oh
do I
yeah.
really want one that's that bright and
No,
crazy?
not really. No, no. Junkar Willie, thank
What
you so
is wrong?
much. It is very hard. And then one of the other things is it's incredibly important to learn through trial and error where the energy and the time and the money that we have is best directed. And it is always a moving target, right? You always have to reevaluate like, is this working? Is this what I want to be doing? How do I feel? Like, am I energized? Like, I see if I see that the stuff that we're doing out in the shop he is not interested in, I can't get him moving in the morning. But if I tell him, hey, do you want to go out to the shop and live stream? He's like, yeah, let me get dressed. We'll go out and do it. He likes this. He likes this. So if this is what gets him motivated and going, then I got to figure out a way to incorporate this
Well,
with
there's
all the projects that we're doing. And that's
o-
us.
over the years, like 55 years that I worked on mostly mechanical stuff. I had one job where I picked weeds, greenhouse, and that was the first year, and I didn't even do that for a year. After that, it was all mechanical stuff. And what I've learned is what jobs I like and what jobs I don't. If there's welding to do, yeah, I'm right on top of it. If there's body work, probably. If there's paint work, yeah. Um, if there's work with sheet metal with aluminum, yeah, I'm right into it. If there's crawling underneath a car and taking a transmission cross member off, I'm like, didn't we just do that? I don't want to do that. I don't know. And she jumps right in there and does it. So I let her.
KJ Kylie says I had a K car wagon. It was a great car. The K car that we have here,
We don't have a K car.
we do. In spirit, it's somewhat
We
K
have a
car-ish.
K car in spirit.
We do. Do you know what it is? We
Oh,
worked
it's
on it.
because that engine that's in that
The
silly
Dakota
truck.
that we have has a K car engine. It's a 4-cylinder, 5-speed K car motor, rear wheel drive Dodge Dakota.
But she fixed it.
I owned a Dodge Aries and a
Were
Dodge.
any of you there that
There's
night?
a lot of those
We
around when
we
I
were
was growing up.
we did a live, and she'd been working on that Dakota, and it had fuel injection. It was a complete electronic engine.
It
So
was a throttle body fuel injection.
so but it had this massive wires where somebody had tried to fix it, and they didn't know what they're doing. They're just like hacking at it. So she bought it hacked. She made an adapter out of sheet metal and welded it together and put a carburetor where there used to be a throttle body. And then she took a distributor from a Volkswagen that she bought new and had to do some little mod to it, put that in there. She got it all set up and went around, turned the key, and boom, and it fired right up. It's running. I was like,
Yep.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, we
Because
got the K car running.
those kind of projects are usually no, what's wrong, and messing with timing and mess with this and no. You know what it's like,
No, it's not.
choofing up through the carburetor and everything. But she went over there and just one crank and it was running.
We don't even know what
I
the
was
timing really is
I
because we
was
can't
amazed.
find a timing mark on that
I was amazed.
motor.
I was amazed. It was a real chick magnet.
The K cars,
Yeah, it's
all
K
of them.
car.
A K car wagon.
Maybe the LeBaron convertible. There are only 9K variants. One true K. Best K car variant was the 91 through 93 Imperial. I can't even imagine Imperial on a K car uh, body, but I guess there probably was. You know, like when the K cars came out, everything here anywhere in the US, anyway, in the US, everything was downsizing. Fuel was a big deal, and I was out looking at cars, and I went out and I drove the first year. What was the first year? 81 K car. Was that like a Aries K station wagon? Yeah, it was an okay little car, but not exciting. I didn't buy it, but I mean, you know, it drove okay. A friend of mine bought a K car.
Oh, that was a front wheel drive K car motor. But you know what? This was probably a V6, wouldn't it have been?
I don't know.
What motor was in these cars? Somebody here will know.
Ugly.
This is a front wheel drive car, not a 318. See, this platform originally had a 318, but they changed it to front wheel drive so they could make it in line with the wall-to-wall tail lights and concealed headlamps. Yeah, it had doors on the headlamps. They weren't pop-up, but they had doors. Very neat.
3.3 and a 3.8. What are we talking about? 3.3 and 3.8. Oh, they were V6s maybe?
Those are the V6s.
200 cubic inch. Oh, push rod
V6s.
V6s. Oh, I wish there were more push rod.
Chrysler had a 3.8?
I lost track of all the V6s everybody had. Because it kind of came into the 2000s, maybe even in the 90s. It just was overwhelming with all the different stuff. I was still stuck in inline sixes and 302 Fords, 351 Windsors. I was pretty comfortable with that stuff.
All right, we've been going for over an hour. I need to take a quick bathroom break. I
Okay.
just got to pee. So I'll be back.
Yeah, I worked on a mower
You
yesterday.
guys
It had a
don't.
number of working repairs done with wood screw and gutter bolts.
Wood screws
We've
or
seen things.
drywall screws?
We've seen things like that.
Oh, yeah, gutter bolts too.
There's a Norwegian guy I worked for, and he used to call them wooden screws, as if the screw were made out of wood. But that's not what he meant. He used to say wooden screws. Yeah, the 3.3 is just enlarged. Okay. I missed some of the lives. Did you find a performance cam in the one? No, it was not. It was obviously original, and the timing chain was like is so loose. I can't believe it hadn't come off the gears. It was bad. So 3.8 Intrepid. Oh yeah, those engines. You know the Intrepid. I always thought was a good looking car. Both versions of it, but I just transmission, that whole arrangement up front, kind of scary to me. But I like the looks of the cars, along with the Eagle. The Eagle Vision I thought was a pretty good looking car, which was like an Intrepid, but never bought any of them. So the engines were good. What about? I heard a lot of bad stuff about the transmissions, but that was just people talking, and sometimes people talk and they don't know what they're talking about. Just about all manufacturers had a 3.8. Yeah, I believe that. The Intrepid had the 3.3 push rod, 3.6 single overhead cam. Okay. Man, those cars are getting old. They're getting too old that they probably, I bet a lot of those cars got caught in the cash for clunkers. I would think the age of the Intrepids and uh, whatever the Chrysler was, and the Eagle Vision, I bet they all got caught in that. A 3.5 single overhead cam. The Trans4, the Hemi Astron 80 MCA jet. The V6 3-liter Mitsubishi. Oh, I remember the 3-liter Mitsubishi engine. I go to auctions. Nobody bid those cars go through auction. Nobody even bid on them. Proper U.S. and Canadian 2.5 turbo. Then yeah, I think ours is a 2.5. 60-degree 3.3. Those things go through the auction, man, they bid right up. But it was the 3.0 that was nobody wanted them, and I don't know what the deal was there, but like the used car guys knew that one was trouble and the other wasn't. I remember the 3.3s. Anything with a 3.3 in it, man, they'd snap that up. They'd always bid right up. But have you seen any potential candidates as a replacement for? Yes, I am looking at. See, I'm real partial to Fox bodies, but the Mustangs are so expensive. But there's some Fairmonts, and I've had a bunch of Fairmonts. I wouldn't if I found a really good Fairmont that wasn't all thrashed and fairly low mile. I might buy that. And then the other one, I haven't found any, but like an '81 Cordoba LS, if there was a good one, like as nice as Dr. Art, or not Dr. Art, but Dr. Goes, I would be interested in that. I don't know. I've got time. We've got the Jeep. If we need to go somewhere, we can go somewhere. Kim's been driving her van a little bit more, so we're not stuck. But I do want something that I can go out there and turn the key and just go. And I don't have that right now, but I'll take my time. Well, Eagle was going to use that extra PRV 60-degree DeLorean engines, but after purchase, we didn't want to use them on the Eagle. I worked in a shop where we had a couple of those sitting there, and we couldn't even sell them. They were good engines out of wrecked cars, and we couldn't sell them. What else did they use those engines in? There was something else that had those engines in that there were a lot of them around, or a fair number of them around. So we had them, but All American Car Company said 3.8 and a 400. Yeah, I think they did. Some knucklehead junked a 22,000 mile 1990 454 SS truck. Father died and kids didn't want it, so they called the yard to come get it. They just don't know what they just didn't know any better. That's stupid. You know, it's just too bad that happens. Just too bad that happens. A Shadow with a Turbo 4 for a short time. I like the 74, or not 74, 94 Duster 30 V6. Green and gold was a combination. I'm trying to think of what that is. 94 Duster. Kim can look that up when she gets back. Mexican specs here. I see the blue pop in at the bottom. How's your cat? Because 3.8 liters in one US. Yeah, that's what I always, the 3.8s, I always call them the 1 gallon engine. The 3.8 Buicks. I used to joke around and say, you got one of those 1 gallon engines. Uh, how about Taurus show? You know what I don't like about the Taurus show? Where am I going to get parts for that thing? See, if I have a Fairmont, it's a Fox body. There's so much stuff for Fox bodies. I can put a 302 in it. I can put a 351 Windsor in it. I can put an inline six in it. There's so much that is just available that'll work. And that, in fact, you can probably put a small box Chevy in it or an LS, you know. But I mean, there's just so much available for them. And a Taurus show is like, it's got the really nice Yamaha engine, but yeah, where are you going to get pieces for that? You know? Well, Mitzi the cat is in great hands. Mexican spec. Buff, that was a Plymouth Shadow. Plymouth Shadow.
Oh, I had a friend who owned a Plymouth Shadow. He had a big stereo system.
Oh, okay.
It was a K car.
I made a mistake of buying a Dodge Caravan new with the 3.0 V6. At that time, I did not know the engine was junk. You know, that's what used to come through the auctions. You get a 3.0. People would come over to a Caravan, and the hood would be open. They'd look in there, and if it was a 3, and you could see the 3.0. You know, I know what they look like, big valve covers, aluminum, and they look at it and they just walk away, and nobody bid on it. And they get one of the 3.3, man, it'd bid right up. You know, it was kind of funny to watch. JB girl I dated had one. Not a bad car at all. Well, Buff, we couldn't do the blood test because she ate food 2 hours ago. It's a pity because so many of the cool 80s, 90s cars will be junk for lack of parts. Yeah, well, like a Taurus show, what? It's just such an odd car, you know. I got to have something I can afford, you know, and to me, any Fox body is just a easy old car to deal with. You know, there's some old cars that are easy to deal with and some that are not. Another one that's easy to deal with is, of course, the first gen Camaros and the early Novas, like 68 through 74 Novas. But man, they want so much money for those things. But that's an easy car to deal with. There's so many GM engines will fit in that and either bolt up or almost bolt up, and just parts everywhere, you know. But they're getting kind of pricey, you know. That's expect saying hi to you because you walked in, I think.
Oh, hi, Mexican spec. I was listening, so I knew you were here and that you're. I heard the discussion about your kitty cat. I hope the cat is doing well.
Let's see, the later ones were same engine as the Yamaha based 60-degree engines, despite what people say. Skoda, we didn't have any Skodas here. Skoda here is a rare car. It might be one somebody imported, you know. Volvo V6 and V8. You made us big.
We're big.
The
I'm gonna pull this down some so the
so
cup isn't showing.
I haven't checked my email in a while either. Yeah, you know, those V6 engines, they might have come from Volvos because I don't know, they were sitting. It was a shop I worked in, It was a used car lot, but the guy had a pretty good sized shop, and we did a lot of work in there. And those engines were just sitting on some wood, you know. And I was like, "What are you gonna do with those?" "I don't know. I'll try to sell them." Like, they just sat there the whole time I worked there. Oh, there was one of those Chrysler engines that if you took off one vacuum hose, it smoked like crazy. Guys at the auction would do that so they could buy it cheaply. I don't even remember that. Ford had Yamaha do the first 6-degree show V6, then some of the 3.5-liter show V8. Yeah, that's the ones I remember, were both those engines. Then Ford sold Volvo, and then Volvo made its own copy of the Taurus show V8 for their own V8 S80. See, I didn't even know about that. But still, it's those aren't common parts that when you need something for one of those, it's going to be search and pay if you can find them, you know. Man, I remember those 3.5-liter show V8s. I knew a woman. Remember I said that a woman gave me a 69 Dart because I maintained it for her. Single mom with 3 kids, and she got her degree and she became an engineer, and then she bought a uh, Datsun Z car, I think a 280Z. And right after that, like a year later, she bought one of those 3.5-liter show V8s. What a car that was, you know. But I really like the Dart. I wish I would have kept it. Like all the old cars, I wish. That's what I say about all my old cars. Wish I would have kept it. Uh, Love to get a first gen Camaro and put in it my 256 with a T5. That would be a great cruiser. See, I had a '67 Camaro RSSS that was kind of an old raggedy car and it was crunched in the left front. But I fixed it the night I got it. I fixed it and painted it the night I got it. And then it had one of those like a stripe that went around the nose, and I did the stripe the next day. I really liked that car. And then I had a '69 uh, with a 307 and a 3-speed on the floor. Had one option. No, it had two options. Had an AM radio and it had a fold down rear seat. Really, really not a fancy car, but we bought it from the original owner, and it was perfect. Okay, the cat, she's 15 years old and really skinny. She drinks a lot and urinates a lot. My wife thinks she has feline diabetes. Yeah, it sounds
Sounds like
might
it.
your wife might be right. Sounds like it could be. That V8 Taurus show was a homely ass car. Yeah, until you open the hood. It was a pretty good looking car. You look under the hood. Uh, Giving a cat a shot is easier than giving them a pill. Oh, you know, I learned how to give cats medicine. Pills. I've tried everything. Put it in meat, put it in everything, and they reject it. They spit the pill out and everything. So I had a cat that I had to give him medicine. So I crushed the pill all up and I mixed it in some cat food the cat really liked, wet food, and I just smeared it up her paw, up her leg. And she licked the whole thing off. It's like, okay, that's how you give the cat the medicine. Make them clean it off themselves, and they do that, or at least mine did. Uh, I like how they look, but I also like the '62 Plymouths. I like '62 Plymouths, but I like '63 Plymouths even better. There's something about the '63 Plymouth, those vertical looking running lights up there, and when you sit in it, you sit kind of low, and just the whole feel of a '63 Plymouth is it's just like no other B body. And a '62 is kind of the same. Uh, CV8 from '98 to 2016. I like the '62 Plymouth and Dodge models. Oh, I like '62 Dodges too. The weird headlights angled the wrong direction and everything. Uh, let's see. I had a neighbor that bought a new '62 Dodge, a bright red one. He's a volunteer fireman, had a red light on top. This was a red '62 Dodge with a red flashing light on top. He's my neighbor. My old cat had diabetes shots every day. He put up with it. Oh man, that little spoiler on the back of the show. What was Ford thinking? I don't know. Probably something from the marketing department. I bought a new 1997 Taurus wagon. in dark red. I like that car. First night I had it, all the lights on the left side of the car went out. The steering column cut some wires. Oh man, in a new car. I had a 95, I think. No, it was 96 Sable, and then wagon, and then a 99 Sable wagon. I like both those cars a lot. I really like the 99. Although the 96, it had that all the way across the front light that lit up white with the headlights on each side. And I went in and took all the bulbs out and put all amber bulbs in it. And I don't know why. I liked it like that. The big amber light all the way across the front looked pretty good. Only asset to the Fjord. The wagon looks better than the sedans. I know 63 Plymouth very well. I bet you do. Yeah, and you got a Slant in yours, don't you? Yeah, the one we had a it was a 318 Poly. Tommy, will you go try Japanese again for reliability buff? I'm I'm really, you know, I've looked at the Mazda 6 it was very reliable, but the electronics sucked. Everything that had to do with the infotainment center, the cruise control was really intermittent. The electrical thing you pull up to put the parking brake on, none of that stuff ever worked right. Dealers couldn't make it work right, but it always started and got me there. And then I started looking at used ones because mine had 127,000 miles on it. I thought it was high miles, but when I go look at them, they all got like 150, 160, 230,000 miles. I'm not buying an 8-year-old Mazda 6 with 200,000 miles on it. No way. I would rather look at something that's simple, that's a low mile, earlier American car. Like, I really like Fairmonts. I really like Fox bodies, I suppose. You know, a Mexican spec came up with a notchback Mustang. I'd consider that. And of course, the Mexicans had the good 302. Probably a little better block than what we did, I guess. But I don't like the hatchbacks. The yeah, I'm just. Oh, what are you looking at? Why are you looking at this Nova?
It's for sale.
Oh, wonderful. How much?
3,700.
What?
It's got flames on the valve
Good. We
covers.
got flames on the
Those
valve
are
covers.
important.
That's worth the 700.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I have
yeah.
a Commando
Chrome
361
get you
big block.
home.
Oh, you have a 361 in your Fury. What made you think it was a Slant? Oh man, a 361. Yeah, it's big block.
Interior
Oh,
is,
I looked at that. I remember looking at that interior and look at the top of the dash.
yeah.
Somebody has torn that all up trying to do something and they gave up. And now it's for sale.
Oh, the interior is
Ravaged.
pristine, pristine,
No, I want
beautiful.
something that's oh yeah, and I remember looking at
It's
this
got
car.
spinners on it
I
and
looked at
eco touring tires. Those are
It's got
pretty.
all the important stuff, the spinners and the flames on the chrome mirror. But look what they
Mm-hmm.
did to the dash and I just
$3,700.
look at that. Where's the headliner? Oh,
Man, the prices are crazy these
okay.
days.
So
It's
no, I'm
just
not
a
interested in that.
sorry, sorry,
But
sorry.
please don't look at all the ones I'm interested in because somebody else will go out and snap it up.
They will not.
Okay. So, or that Charger or Challenger, if that 70 Challenger were available for a reasonable price
Yeah, for $3,700.
with a slant in it, man, I'd have that. Uh, JB, that would be cool. Change one. What was that? Every G. Well, I missed something there. Yeah, Mexican spec. You got any notchback Mustang? Um,
Better stop that.
Fox bodies. Yeah, but even in Mexico, those go for a lot of money. They just go for a lot of money. If that's okay if the cat is less than 16. You're there. Okay. Cute. 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 Something's cute. The sign is in my. Oh, you have 263 Plymouths. That's right. Yeah, you had a Slant in a Savoy.
Got a lot of
I
cars, Mexican
I
spec.
haven't seen your other one.
Shaquille Shaka, welcome to the stream. Thanks
Yeah,
for coming
welcome.
in.
Um, oh, you know what? I haven't been checking my email. Mexican spec just
I'm
reminded
not
me.
trying to sell you a car. Oh, I see. Uh huh. Uh huh.
Oh, we have what happened here? Oh, there it is.
We did get
Oh,
to. I owned
I
a
got
Toyota
more.
Corolla at one
I got
time.
more here from. Excuse
I've
me.
owned a lot of cars. More than most people, I think.
I've owned just about 70 cars, which some people think that's hardly any, and some people are just stunned at how many cars that is. Why didn't that come up? Come up, come up. Mexican Spec sent this.
Oh, that's pretty.
It is a Nova. Okay, Mexican Spec. Zephyr Fox. It's a good looking car. Now the Zephyr Fox is the one that's the little bit of chop top with the band around the top, like you're talking about the little coupe, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Is the Zephyr? What is that thing called? The Z7 and the Futura, the must or the Fairmont Futura. That's I had a coupe, a Futura coupe. What a great car that was. I took the Mustang or Pinto 4-cylinder out, built a 302 C4, broke the rear end, fixed that, and then had a roll bar in it, had different seats in it, had shoulder harnesses and everything, big wide seat belts with the clamp over thing. And I drove it on the street, and what a nice car that thing was. But I had a girlfriend that got it. But if I think you need a Fairmont Futura or a Zephyr Z7, I think you're right. Um, I'm looking at numerous Fairmont Futuras and Zephyr Z7s. Just got to figure out which one and start getting more serious. And the way I'm going to get serious in the next few days, I should be paid for my Mazda. There's a little snag there, but it's a normal kind of snag. It's not the insurance company not going to pay. It's just snag. So yeah, that's kind of the direction I'm heading, Lester. Um, that's a 77 Chevrolet Malibu Rally. They call that a Malibu in Mexico. Okay. Has 350 4-speed manual. This is the same as the Nova SS without the smog crap. So it's a 77, so that's importable. That means it can be imported into the US. Yeah, but you're gonna have to I didn't look at the email. Maybe you told me what the price is on it. Oh, where's my cursor? Here it is. No, there's no price. And then I know I have Junk Car Willie also sent more pictures that I was not paying attention to because I quit paying attention to my email for a few minutes.
Mexican spec said they called it a Malibu Rally, Rally with an E on the end of the word, and that it was the same
Rally.
as a Nova 350, Nova SS, but without the smog stuff. Right, because it's Mexico.
Yeah, the broken taillights. Yeah, my Futura had broken taillights, and they were still available from Ford then, and that was in like 1983. Maybe not. No, it's 19. It's either 83 or 84, and each side then was like $380. And now I was thinking,
What?
I've seen a couple of those taillights on cars I'm looking at, and they got holes poked in them or they're cracked or something. And I go look, and they're for a set, they're $1,000. And it's like now broken taillights on a Futura or a Z7. No, it's gonna have to be 3D printed or make them out of glass, Lexan or something. But no, you can't replace them. You can't replace them. Nova, that's right.
Nova, that means no go, right? So they didn't call them Novas because that just Yeah.
Yeah, there's some other cars that they messed up names on in other countries because they weren't
Iceman
paying
says
attention.
at his age, he's more of an end user when it comes to cars. Drive them till they don't drive no more. I'm starting to understand that. Like just we don't put many miles on cars anymore, and just do what we should just do what we enjoy, drive what we like.
That's another picture that Junker Willie sent that I
Well,
missed.
we
I
have
just
this
didn't.
guy's head. Hold on,
I
let me.
just I just
There he is.
okay. Well, I can back it off a little bit, but it's a Corvette. And but anyway, he sent it, and I don't know if he's still listening or not. But Junker Willie, I missed it. So back to this.
I
Um,
find that once I buy cars, they're mine for forever because nobody will ever want them. I just they're mine forever. So I'm getting scared about buying anything else because I got enough. I
Oh
think
yeah,
I
the
sold the
Mexican spec
last
says
car I was
I have
able to
new
sell.
taillight lenses for the sedans. Yeah, those are easy. They're like rectangular lights. The ones for the Futura are really complex looking lights that go out. They're huge and they wrap around and they go all the way from the edge of the like wrapped around, then all the way to the license plate. And then there's like part of that whole assembly is a license plate holder. Look up uh 79 Fairmont Futura and rear. So you get the back of the thing, so you know what taillights we're looking at. They're crazy expensive. That's not any of them. Oh, see the gold one behind my head.
Yeah. What
That's
about it?
it.
That's the car. Okay.
That's the taillight, and it's broken,
Let
like they all are.
me do this. There it
Yeah,
is.
see that? That taillight assembly is broken, like almost all of them are. And those things, I found a set of two of them last night, and it was like $1,100. It's like, no, 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 I'm not buying a
That's silly.
$3,000 car with well, you can't get them. Like Mexican Spec says, they're unobtainium. No, if I had that, I'd have to 3D print it, and I know people could do it in segments, or just get some red Lexan and
Which is not going to be any cheaper, and
make
by the time you're done, your
make
time and
something
energy.
make something
And they don't
that's
reproduce them
close.
because there's not enough people
Oh,
restoring those cars to make it worth their while.
hardly any out there.
Man.
Um, let's see here. I'm off to bed. Iceman. Okay, great. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night.
We appreciate your comments. Thanks for coming. We'll see you again soon, hopefully.
Lenses on the
Thanks for
Futura
sending pictures too.
two-piece and can be placed in.
Speaking of sending
Right. Oh, I
pictures,
understand that Mexican Spec, but I found a set and it was like $1,100 for the set. Remember those Fox Body T-Birds? They were plush. Yeah, they were kind of heavy. Oh yeah, so you can send more pictures.
speaking of sending pictures, if you are new to the stream, watching, want to participate, one of the things that we like to do is show people who are watching show their cars or their projects
Or
or
them.
shout out their channel or them, their
Or
family.
just going to, Dean Stevenson sent pictures from just going down the highway. And it's
Yeah.
like, wow, there's a highway
Oh
in
yeah,
New
like this.
Zealand.
I live
That's
here,
pretty
and this
cool.
is what it looks like
So
in this direction and that direction. Like
what I'm
anything you think is
what
interesting, you
I'm
can send us
what I'm
pictures.
getting at is Tommy Hanlon, you're welcome to send pictures. They don't have to be like a hot looking American car. They can be a picture of going down the road or from an
Anything, yeah.
overpass or you sitting in a I don't know what you have.
We can talk
MG
about
midget? I don't know what you
we
I
can
don't have
talk
any idea
about
what you have.
whatever we want because it's our stream. So so send some pictures if you like. If you are sending something to for us to look at on stream, you are by sending it, you are giving us permission to use it on stream or as a thumbnail perhaps in a future video. And please send your on-screen username within the email so we know it's you, because a lot of times people's usernames and their email addresses don't match, and this way we know. And we will try and talk about it while you're in the stream so you can comment and we can have a conversation because it's fun. So if not, we do that every Tuesday night. So if not this week and you want to get something together for next week, uh, that's going to be a thing that we continue to do. So check it out. And okay, back to the chat because I distracted. Sorry.
We don't need no
I was just
stinking
doing my government.
reverse lenses.
I
Yeah,
mean, they're clear. The
the
lens.
the Futura had that taillight, and the Mercury version had a taillight that fit in the same slot, but it was a different style. But yeah, I don't know where you get those. But if I ever broken one, I know what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be buying tinted Lexan and making my own. It's just that's the way it is. And then you got to put some reflective material on it. And I don't know. I just live with it.
Take the whole panel out, make a flat panel, get some drill some holes, and get some trailer lights in different colors. You'll be fine.
You make it out of aluminum. Put some Chevy Impala round taillights back, like a '60 Chevy.
Yeah.
Well, you could do that. I don't know how good that would look.
People would hate it, and that's why I think it's a good idea to
You know
do it.
what? I had one of those. Lester Saber says the LTD LX taillights would fit the Futura. You know what? I hacked a set of those in one time and ran around with mine with a set of LTD taillights in there. But you could tell they fit, but they didn't fit right. I had to drill holes and hack and hold them in a sheet metal or something. I don't remember how I did it. Then I made my own license plate holder out of sheet metal. And you look at it and you go, that's not the right thing. But I didn't have the money for the taillights then. And that's why I was trying to get them from Ford. And they were $380 for each side. And I was like, you know, that was $380, 1980s money. Yeah, see that one there, that green one has a set of good taillights in it. And you see some that are.
I mean, it depends. If you're doing a restoration, that's a whole lot different than if you're doing a functional, like my Dart is a functional car. I'm gonna have to take out the factory gas pedal and put in just a generic pedal, and I don't want to do that because it's not factory-ish, but I need it to work. So, sometimes you just do what works. And that keeps it on the road and makes it functional and fun to drive. And which is better, looking perfectly factory or being functional and useful now? I think that it's good for its future if it's a good driver.
And then um, Dean Stevens says, the Irish don't drive on the right. I don't.
Oh, I'm sore.
You know, I drove in England quite a bit in a big old giant Mercedes that they rented for us because we had a lot of people and crammed all these fat Americans in there, including me, because I was pretty fat then.
Oh, yeah,
And
you were. You were like
and
at least 100 pounds bigger.
and
And we also cannot use the F word.
you can't use the.
You were
I
larger.
was larger, so
You weighed more. Those are valid
actually
ways of
I'd
saying
lost a
it.
lot of that weight by then, but still, it was like for Americans when you're in Europe and you're American, you notice that you're too rotund. So we had this Mercedes driving over here on the right side of the car. Oh, they drive on the right or the left or the right side of the car? Oh yeah, they don't drive on the right. Okay. So I got used to it pretty quickly. All the roundabouts I learned those real quickly. So when I got to the US and there are not many roundabouts here, the first roundabout I get to, I'm like, no, 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 turn to the right. Because it looked wrong to me. It was kind of funny how I learned roundabouts driving on the left side of the street. So yeah, I did it. I was always thinking though. I was always concerned that if some emergency come out, I automatically my body I'd turn the wrong way. So I was being very careful with it. Driving through a drive through McDonald's was always a little weird. We did that once, and man, everything was backwards, like a mirror image of my life. Um, so yeah, I mean,
Oh,
now that you're
go ahead.
staying in the European Union, how about that left hand? uh,
Can I read ahead? Grant7 Paints and Coatings said Just popping in to say hello to everyone and show my support. Keep up the good work.
Oh, great. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for stopping and making a comment. Who is that?
Yeah,
Is that somebody that we already know?
Grant 7 Paints and Coatings. Man, I bet you got some interesting stuff to talk about.
But I wonder if that's somebody that we already know and we just don't recognize the username.
I do this
Either way,
sometimes.
welcome to the stream
I
and
do
thank you
this
for being.
sometimes so I remember, because I don't remember things real well.
Are you taking a screenshot?
I'm taking a screenshot with my phone so I can go back. So, yeah, I can go back and look at, oh man, why is that zoomed out so far? I can go back and look at his channel, Grant 7 Paints and Coatings. I don't know you have a channel, but maybe you do. And if you do, it sounds like something I'd be interested in, and I'll be checking it out. Let's see, did you get a lot of British made tools? You know, I bought tools from other countries a few times. Even my Whitworth stuff came from here. What you doing? Oh,
Go ahead. Go on with
okay,
what
okay.
you're doing.
You're translating.
I'm gonna try, yeah.
Oh, here we go. Emily Love, an email.
Oh, thank you for sending an email.
Well, let's see what it is here. It looks like
Goran Sandstrom says, like, share, subscribe to the program. Thank you for your support. We appreciate you being here. And I don't even know what language that is. Swedish.
Swedish.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
Okay, I'm gonna bring this
We
up.
are worldwide.
Emily Love. What car is that?
It looks like some kind of NASCAR car. Oh, they can't see that. Hold on a second.
Oh, okay. I thought it was up on the screen. It's not. Okay, I'll back it off a little bit. This is somebody that's in the chat that sent me an email that
welcome to the stream.
That is not chatting but sending pictures.
That is a. Is it a NASCAR?
Probably. See what the steering wheel is?
Oh, on the hood.
On the roof, yeah.
On the roof.
Look at that spoiler. Look at the wing and the spoiler in the back. And that's a radical thing. Yeah, it's NASCAR. I mean, you can see right ahead of the doors where all the stickers are. I don't know enough about NASCAR. I used to know who was who. And I watched NASCAR in the early 60s and then kind of lost track of everything. Emily Love. Looks a lot like ARCA car I drive in racing, so I was excited to see it. So Emily Love is in here.
Oh, and she drives a race car.
You drive that?
It says it looks a lot like ARCA cars I drive in iRacing. What's iRacing? That sounds cool. Do you have a channel? Oh, I want to know I have all the questions. Sorry, I was on a slight delay. Everybody's on a slight delay. That's just how it is. We're
struggling with the.
Well, no, live streaming is sort of that way. It takes a minute for it to get through. It's like 15 seconds when we have it on the fastest non-delay. Oh, sim racing. I see. Like, do you have like the whole thing with the steering wheel and the pedals and stuff like that? That's pretty cool.
I've got one of those setups.
Yeah, you do.
Carl bought it for me, and he thought we were going to do all this, and he was really into it, and I used it once to try it, and then never used it again. I don't know why not.
I don't play much video games anymore because my neck gets so tired. And if I have the energy, I would rather use it to work on my car. But in the wintertime, maybe in the wintertime I'll play some video games. But the last couple of years I just haven't been feeling it. Oh, and I'm getting injections in my spine in a couple of weeks. Maybe I'll get some relief.
I thought you were going to say tomorrow or something. I was about ready to panic.
24th or 29th. I don't know. Later this month.
Because you and I, like sometime within the next week, I think we're going to be making a cross-country run.
Why?
to go get me a car.
Oh, well, we're not going to be able to do it. You're going to have to be careful about the dates.
I know,
Um,
but I'm getting serious about a couple of them, and I'm probably end up. Yeah, I could always take a bus. I mean, I've taken buses all over the place. Take a bus to go get a car. I've done that, and every time I've done it, I've been really lucky, and the car made it home. That's vice grip garage style, but I expect the cars will be better than some junk car. That's
he's used airplane simulators. Have you done airplane simulators? And
who is
I
this? Okay, I was gonna
go
say
ahead.
Fastang
Sorry.
89's here. I was gonna say good evening. Uh,
Welcome to the stream,
where's
Fastang
this about?
89.
Where's it say something about airplane simulators? Are you asking
No, I
me?
was just asking
I
you to
have
make
flown
conversation.
military, full blown. Yeah, if any of you know what the C5A Galaxy is, yeah, I've logged time in that, and yeah, I've flown simulator a lot. So, but that was a real thing. Uh, let's see here. I took Greyhound once, never again. Yeah, I've taken Greyhound several times, and every time it's like I'm not doing this again, and then I climb on one and go again. And you know something about Greyhound? You always meet interesting people. Always, always, always. You meet interesting people, and you got to think of it as like it's not always on schedule. There's like hiccups and things, but it's an adventure. And as long as you get where you're going, and they get you there, it's an adventure. Atari. I want to try flying sims, but I don't have the right equipment yet. I will in the future. I got two friends that are really into that. One of them flies somehow with his keyboard and some kind of a thing and a screen. The other one, he's a guy that comes in here sometimes. His name is Gary, and he's in Idaho, and he built a full blown. It looks like an Airbus A320
Oh yeah.
panel, and he's got all these screens, lots and lots of screens.
You don't
And
have those pictures,
I
do you?
probably do. I'll try to pull them up.
Some other time.
But I've been in his garage. He's got a 3-car garage, 2 cars in the garage, and this massive simulator. And you get in that thing and you sit there and you feel like you're in a A320 Airbus. It's amazing. And of course, he's a computer guy. His job, he's a robotics guy, so he's uh he's really uh he's really done that. Did a good job on that. And Tim's here. It's awesome. I love seeing people's setups. Yeah, one night when Gary will come in here, he doesn't come in very often. Gary's got family and he's a busy guy, job. He's my age. He's 70 and he's still working full time. And yeah, he's building robotic stuff, some company, and he's busy. Uh, but he's a pilot. He was he and I were in the Air Force together. He was a pilot, not in the Air Force, but we're both civilian pilots. But and his father had an airplane when we were kids, and his father took me for my first airplane ride, and that started the whole thing. That most of my career was aircraft. So yeah. Anyway, Gary's quite a guy. He's still working, and so I went into a Walmart, Hermosillo, Sonora. On the way out there was a Pong machine you could play. Oh, Pong. Remember those? That's a early. Remember Pong, Kim?
Yeah.
Easy. Boom, boom, boom. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom,
Two
boom.
player. You had paddles on the Atari that you could twist
It's just
to go
funny.
up
I
and
look
down.
back at Pong. Pong was
And there
the
was a button, and you had to press the button even though it didn't do anything when you were
really
playing Pong.
well. Pong was. It was the first time that anything was on a TV screen that was interactive. It's like, look, it's interactive.
Ooh,
And now,
interaction.
now it's like something from long, long, long ago. Yeah, uh, I'm trying to get away from my airplane stuff, but I start talking about it, I can't quit. Uh, let's see, Pong machine. Wow, mowed the lawn. Hopefully for the last time this year. Put the mower away for the winter. How do you put your mower away? What do you put in the gas tank? Or do you take it all out and drain your carburetor? What do you do? And then I'll tell you what I do.
Oh, speaking of mowers, John Hart, you know who John Hart is.
Yes, John Hart.
He asked if we could put a new spindle in his mower. He's having problems with it.
Spindle on
The mower deck.
the mower deck spindle.
I forget what he said it was doing, but
Shaquille, take care.
it
I don't
was.
think it's night where you are. Maybe it is. But thanks for coming in and thanks for
Thanks for
being here.
stopping in. We appreciate you. Hope you can come by again soon. Um, I forget what he said, if it was vibrating or not cutting right. I forget. But
We're good at that.
he lives close, and if we pull the deck off of his tractor, it'll be really easy. We could either bring it back here or maybe fix it
Put
there, or
the deck in the
have
van.
him
And,
order parts and just fix it
Yeah.
there. Honestly, it's super easy to fix once it's off the mower. So.
the only thing, you know what's nice about fixing it here? You don't have to think about what tools you need to take
Yeah, right.
and then keep coming back for more tools.
Right.
Yeah.
You're welcome. We're glad we're able to be here on a regular basis. It's actually been so good for us to have some routine, something to look forward to, something to build and grow. It feels empowering to be able to invest ourselves into something and see it grow. And maybe not monetarily, it's not like we make money, but there's more people here for longer on a more regular basis. It seems like people enjoy the participation that's going on. People interact with each other, and we see other people's. It's just good, and we're really enjoying it. I feel like Emily. We thank you so much for sending the picture, but I feel like we put Emily up here on the big screen for longer than
I'm
maybe
sorry. I'm sorry.
we don't want to overdo it.
No, I'm
Here,
trying.
I'm putting us in a dining room, Emily, so you don't, because I know I would
The
be
di-
self-conscious
the
if my
dino
picture was
room.
up
The
there too long.
dino room.
Welcome to the dino room, folks.
Okay, I'll get back to
Here, duck your
I'm
head this towards me.
towards
This
you.
dino here is breathing smoke, right? And that is why the dinosaurs went extinct, was from smoking. Don't breathe volcanic ash; you'll go extinct. So
Well, I'll leave
that's
this
what
up
we've
there
learned from the dino room.
so when Tavo shows up, hopefully Tavo's here. What mechanical thing that's on a plane engine do you wish was on an automobile engine? Man, you know what? You know what? Airplane engines are really simple compared to car engines. Well, as long as they're reciprocating engines. Um, mostly airplane engines are they're uh, they're meant so that if you have an electrical failure, this small airplanes, if you have an electrical failure, the engine keeps running. So it has a magneto, so it's not dependent on electrical
Yeah.
system, and it has mechanical fuel injection if it's fuel injection, or it has a carburetor. They're pretty simple engines. Oh, Tavo is there. Now you can click Tavo up.
Oh, hi, Tavo. Welcome to the stream. Can click Tavo up. Oh, bring his picture back. Okay.
Yeah,
Tavo, you were up early in the stream, and here you're back.
so I'm trying to move him up.
I can move him around a little bit.
Oh, okay. Okay, maybe you can do that. Yeah. So that's your
Chrysler.
your Chrysler. I think you said 76.
Thank you for sending a photo of your Chrysler. We
So-
enjoyed it, and we talked about it a little bit earlier about how neat that would have been to have.
So to get back to John's question,
Okay.
one thing airplanes do is they climb up to higher altitudes and the mixture gets rich pretty quickly. So there's a mixture knob where you can lean the engine. And, when you're driving around a mountainous area, like when you go across the Rocky Mountains or something, the older cars don't do well up there without rejetting the carburetors. It'd be kind of cool if you could just do that from inside the car like you do with an airplane. I don't know. I'm not so sure. And that new cars are so complex and everything works so well as long as everything's working.
Yeah, when it works good, it works really
and then
good.
if you go the other extreme with airplanes, I was jet engine mechanic in the Air Force, and a jet engine's pretty interesting in a car. It can go really fast. See, when I went in the Air Force, they said you could choose your job, and I was jet engine mechanic. Like, Yeah, stupid 18-year-old kid. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to be a jet engine mechanic. I'm going to learn how to do that, and then I can go set the land speed record. You know, going over Mach 1 on the ground. That's not smart. So I'm glad I grew out of that. But you know, jet dragster, even that's too scary. But it would have been fun maybe.
It would be more fun to build than it would be to drive, I think. That's just my.
Or sit in and just show off. Go, look what I got. Uh, oh, I found my car section again. What cars should I put? I don't know. We got this is a good car to have up here
Oh,
for a
like
while.
trying to climb Pikes Peak. That would be fun. I would like that. Up the windies, up a big hill. That would be a neat thing to build a car for.
Tavo says he had a body he wasn't ashamed of 40 years ago. Man, same thing. See, when I was young, I was in pretty good shape, and then got lazy and eating too much and just turned into a pig eating fast food. And I gained a lot of weight. I really looked terrible, and now I've lost a lot of that. I'm about 100 pounds, almost 100 pounds lighter than I was, and like in the early 2000s, and yeah, I don't really like the way I look now because I'm ancient, but I feel better than I did like 20 years ago.
Tavo, we're glad you made it. We were worried that they would have you working right through your breaks because we heard that you were understaffed or something like that. We don't really know what's going on, but I hope they're not working you too hard because you don't deserve to be. Yeah, yeah. Pace
Okay,
yourself. Glad
now
you're here.
while Tavo's here, I got other questions for him.
Oh,
There's that 1976 Chrysler. I know how I was then. I didn't take enough pictures because now, we have phones, we take pictures of everything. But do you have any pictures under the hood or the interior or any other part of that car? I guess you said it had a 360 in it, so I guess we know what that looks like, but it'd just be interesting to see it because it's,
yeah. That's kind of a.
most of us here are not in Australia, so we don't, so that's a treat to see that thing.
It is. It's something different.
KJ Colley says he'd like to try climbing Pikes Peak. Who was the guy that was one of the crazy TV car builders?
Oh, I remember. I'll look it up.
And he had I can't think of his name, but he had a guy working for him with big beard and everything. That guy was a Pikes Peak
Richard
guy.
Rawlings.
Yeah, it was Richard Rollins, but it was a guy that worked for him that did the Pikes Peak thing. What was his name? Oh, there it is. Pikes Peak Fast. Oh yeah, it's on Discovery, YouTube Discovery. I can't think of his name. Yeah, Gas Monkey.
With Christy Brineberry, Daphne Kaminsky, Richard Rawlings, as Aaron prepares for Pikes Peak
Aaron.
International.
It was Aaron that was the Pikes Peak guy. That was he drove I think it was a 63 Falcon, 63 Falcon Sprint. I think is what he did. Prepped it and drove it up Pikes Peak. The Gas Monkey, that was quite a character.
This
But
is a truck.
yeah, but that's not the. He might have taken that up
This
Pikes
was
Peak.
2022.
Hmm.
Wait.
Oh, Aaron did not work for him, Buff. They were partners. Oh, okay. Aaron Kaufman. Well, if they were partners, I guess maybe they were. I don't know. I guess I didn't really. I just remembered the car, that they ran that thing up Pikes Peak. What about something simple like safety wire to keep bolts? Oh, I've done that. I've done that. And on aircraft, we use Loctite in certain places. And of course, the problem with Loctite on engines is what releases Loctite a lot of times is heat. So Loctite on engines is a little dubious depending on where it is. So yeah, I've drilled bolts and safety wired things on cars, and
Don't the bolts
and
already
it's
come with
it,
holes in them?
and it's pretty. Don't Kim's yelling from the other room about holes in bolts. Don't the bolts come with holes in them, Kim? Aircraft bolts. Well, John's talking about uh, Safety wire on automobiles. Kim uses drywall. It's hard to breathe at the top of Pikes Peak. Imagine if you were a carburetor. Yep, that's what, and that's something I was saying. If you could adjust uh, mixture from inside the car, it'd be pretty interesting. Uh, and I suppose there's ways to do that, or you could use fuel injection and it does it by itself. And Kaufman, yeah, I couldn't remember his name for anything. Just a stock 360. Tavo, just a stock 360. No other decent pictures of it that I can find. This one is normal 6x4 film photo. You know, that's what happened back then. Is I took a few pictures here and there, and then I got snapshots that have gotten wet over the years, and just trying to find good pictures of any of my cars. And the only reason I had pictures of the Cougar was my friend Carl was really into photography, and he took those pictures. And other than that, I have a few pictures of some of my cars, but really not many. I've taken a cog train up Pikes Peak when I was younger. It's 38, says that. Last time when I went up there was about 3 years ago. My wife and I took the Harley up looking at fall colors. Oh yeah, I bet. Man, you took a Harley up Pikes Peak. There's no guardrails on that thing, is there? It's just like a sheer drop. Early cars had timing and mixture controls right at the steering wheel. I knew they had timing. I didn't know they had mixture. Yeah, like the old Fords had a thing up here for timing. I know you had to set the timing. You had to move the timing to start them. You know. Imagine the skills you had to have to drive a Model T. You had timing, and you had the goofy pedals to change gears, and it's completely foreign to us today. But you had to have skills. Today, it's like I was watching a YouTube video. Police officer stopped somebody, yelling at the person, really yelling at the person, the driver, whoever that was, to put it in park. Put it in park. Put it in park. And I'm thinking, Mr. Policeman, you ever think that car had a manual transmission? Probably never thought of that. A young guy. No plants at that peak. I went in a place in Canada, in Alberta, way up north in Alberta, not that far north, like Canada goes way up north, but it was northern in Alberta, and I went up one of these hanging things that hangs from a cable that goes way up, and all that was up there is the tundra, these little plants, and you were supposed to be really careful and not walk on them because they didn't. They were hard to. You couldn't destroy them because they wouldn't come back. It took years for those to grow. So yeah, when you get way up there, we lose about 20% horsepower here in Colorado Springs. You lose almost 50 up there. Yeah, I bet. Um, and of course, that's where airplanes run into trouble. People overload them. It's a hot day, and then they start climbing, and then, man, what age did I get my A&P? I do not have an A&P license. I am a 7-level jet engine mechanic in the Air Force, and I went the engineering route. So I ended up designing airplanes and building them and maintaining it once again, went back, maintained them in the military side. And so I never got an A&P, but I did a lot of flying and designing and building and all that kind of stuff. Uh, so I guess I could answer when I got it. I got my 5 level in the Air Force, 1974. Could have been late in 73. And my 7 level would have been a couple years later, probably like 76, maybe 1976. Braniff. Oh, the airlines? What is? You're eating something good. Um, Yeah, the Air Force worked on C-5s and C-141s. And then as far as flying goes, man, that's what it was. It was in Jasper, and it was a gondola in Jasper. Man, he knew right where I was too. Um, yeah, I rode that thing up to the top. It was interesting. It was cool up there. It was a nut. I remember being in Jasper, and everybody was complaining about the heat, and it was about like just touching 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and people wearing skimpy clothes and fanning themselves. Like it just felt like a normal day to me. And then up there, it was kind of cool. I noticed it was much cooler up there. So have you been up there? The one in Jasper? Uh, nice try. Can we see him? What are you eating? It smells so good.
It's a hot dog.
It's a hot dog. Oh, we're gonna get in a hot dog problem again. Yeah, she eats what I can't eat right in front of me. That has bread. Yeah, I can't eat the bread, but I could eat the hot dog. Oh, last night, if any of you were here, I'm sure some of you were on the live up at the shop. We got into talking about hot dogs and then food and pizza and man, we got finished. It was what 2 in the morning, something crazy like that. We came to the house and what I do? Start cooking something to eat. 2 in the morning. What is the hot dog made of? You know what hot dogs? I think they're made from the meat factory where they scrape the stuff off the floor and they roll it up. And, oh man,
You better believe it. Hot dogs are made of the junk.
what is it? I can't say what it is.
The lips and the other lips.
The other yeah, the other end. Right in front of my dog pisses her off. Yes, you have been up there. Yeah, it's an interesting ride. I did that. I was young when I did that.
What?
When I went up to the top of that gondola in Jasper.
Oh, that does sound
I
neat.
did that in I'm embarrassed to say, it's 1980, and I know that because of where I was and what I was doing and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else I did? It was the first time that I ever flew in Canada. Maybe the only time I ever flew in Canada. You know where? Um, what's the name of the place? Kamloops. You know where Kamloops is? I rented an airplane there. Of course, they didn't know who I was. I'd have an instructor with me. I had two other people, so four of us piled in this airplane. Went out, flew around, and there was a copper mine, and we just flew around, had a good time. And then we're coming back, and somebody in front of us couldn't get the gear down, so we were waiting. And then they did a gear up landing. Now they're on the runway, so we couldn't land. So we flew around some more, and then they cleared the runway and we came in and land. But anyway, that was kind of an interesting trip up there because I got to go flying in Canada, and uh, and watch a guy do a gear up landing. And we went up that thing onto at Jasper. It makes hot dogs, and the first ingredient is birds.
Yeah, these are not beef dogs. These are chicken and pork, and I mean they just throw everything in a grinder. There's bones and cartilage and all. You know, don't make me think about it. It's a hot dog.
Hot dogs are they're sometimes they're good, but I like them with the bun and all the stuff. Like, you ever watch John Cope and it's either
Mm-hmm.
Dougster or Two Hacks,
Mm-hmm.
Jeffro. It was that bunch, and they went up to Chicago, and they had these hot dogs, all this stuff, and I'm like, man, that's what I like. So that's what happened. We got in a hot dog discussion last night, and then people are like, only mustard belongs on a hot dog, or never mayo, or never this, or always this. It's like everybody's idea what belongs on a hot dog. I'm addicted to carbs. I snack on bacon. Yeah. Oh man, we got bacon in the refrigerator. Ooh, we got bacon.
Man, I started the
I could wrap
food
I
conversation.
could wrap bacon around the hot dogs and cook them. That would probably improve them. I don't know. Let's
The
inspect
scary
these
thing is the bacon
pigeons.
is probably better for you than the hot dogs, but it's the hot dogs are cheap.
I thought Bob Burns was going to say he's addicted to carbs. I expected the next word to be either Holly or Edelbrock. Let's see here. Nothing
Mm.
past IMAX. They have a horseshoe walkway that's 1,000 feet up or more, and the floor is made of grass. It's a little scary. Oh man, I don't like stuff like that. Oh, Cope is here. I was just talking about you. I didn't know you were here.
Where?
There he is, Cope Racing Transmissions.
There he
Didn't
is.
you do a video with
He's been lurking.
you it was a couple of those guys you were with went up to someplace in Chicago and you bought these hot dogs that looked so good. They had everything on them. But then you say no ketchup. I don't know. Maybe they didn't have ketchup. They had everything but good stuff. It was you and Two Hacks, I think. You and
Ketchup is the
Jeffro.
easy thing.
I
If you're
don't
gonna,
remember.
if you've got good toppings, you put mustard and relish or chili and cheese. It just depends on what's available.
Cope's hanging out here and I'm talking about him eating hot dogs. That's pretty funny. Hot dogs aren't hugely popular down here. Plentiful
If
enough.
you say his name 3 times, he appears in chat. It's just like that with John Wilburn.
John Wilburn and Jeffro from Two Hacks. And you know who we haven't seen tonight is the other one, Dougster. Yeah, I was thinking Dougster might have been in on that hot dog trip.
Dougster must be working on his car or something.
Let's see, hot dogs aren't hugely popular enough. We seem to prefer the standard beef pork sausage wrapped in sliced bread.
I mean, I would prefer, but I don't have that. Ketchup is red sugar. It's red vinegar and sugar.
Yeah, ketchup's good, but it does have sugar. You got to be careful with that.
And vinegar.
So I really would eat.
Everything is bad
Chili
for you.
dogs. You see,
All the
chili.
food is poison. You might as well just eat what you like.
Yeah, what am I allowed to eat? Minerals,
Nothing.
rocks. But you can't even eat salt.
You may eat tree bark and soil.
Look at this. Lot burns. Yes, bacon wrapped hot dogs with cheddar down the middle. Kim, we got to do this. So you ever get to work on any fighter jets like the F-14? No, I have not worked on any fighter jets. Wait a minute. Later, not when I was in the Air Force. I worked on some strange stuff later, but they weren't really.
I
They were
toasted the
experimental.
buns.
They
That
were
was
experimental things. Let's see here. The best thing on a hot dog is the burn marks. You know, if you do it just right. I think in Chicago they have
I
their
agree.
own.
Burn them.
You know, I'm not a. I don't fit into the Chicago lifestyle at all. But you know what? I got good hot dogs. Good hot dogs. Oh man, I'm down the shore. Just had the obligatory lobster. Oh
Ooh,
man,
nice.
lobster's good. I
Kinda-
could eat lobster, but that's it's like
I kind of don't like
it's
lobster.
like eating $20 bills.
The lobster, maybe it wasn't cooked right, but I've had the lobster that I've had. I wasn't. There'd be like a bunch of other things that I would order off a menu if it was all the same price, because lobster isn't really.
How about Braunschweiger? Oh, I love Braunschweiger, but the problem with that is it's like it's got a lot of
Salt and fat.
salt and fat, but it's probably not that bad because it's animal fat. See,
It is bad. Yeah,
is
no. It's, I mean, it's a hot dog. It's just a different flavor.
Oh man, but you could dip a knife in there, and wipe it on. Oh, bread. I can't have bread.
Or crackers.
Crackers, yeah, all things
You
I
could
can't eat.
you could spread it on some celery, I guess.
I feel blessed. I can eat anything and everything. Some things I choose not to eat, though. You know, Tavo, I was like that. I ate everything, and then one day I found out I was a diabetic, and it's like, oh, my father's telling me, because he goes, don't eat anything white. I'm like, okay, let's see, potatoes, bread, rice, milk. I go, wait a minute, that's all the stuff I like.
Mexican spec. The ketchup is made and sold to a regional specification because the ketchup in the Northeast all tastes like Heinz ketchup.
I got to be careful with the borscht. Borscht is, I guess it's all different borscht, but has beets in it. Beets, of course, got carbs. You got to be careful with that. Oh, excuse me.
Brought my own bottle. Wow.
Yep, fats. See, when I was a kid, Kim and I talk about this a lot. My mother really cared about us and tried to do the right thing, and this is 1950s, early 60s. And like they were taught not to allow your kids to have animal fats and to only eat vegetable fat. It's like she had stuff called shortening that she shortening. That's like a gallon jug of trans fat, but they didn't know that then. But we know better now. So I don't worry too much about animal fats. I just stay away from those um, trans fats. I won't eat it. I won't eat shortening and um, what's the other one so bad? Margarine. Nothing wrong with butter and nothing wrong with. There are some vegetable fats that are okay, like coconut oil, because it'll be a liquid in your system. It doesn't
We believe in the
clog back up.
70s and end of the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, there was this huge marketing campaign pushing all these hydrogenated vegetable oils because they made a lot of money off of them, but they weren't particularly good for them. But they demonized eggs and milk and butter and animal fat as being bad for you, and that this other stuff is healthy for you. I don't think it's true. I think it's where a lot of people's cholesterol and heart problems may have originated. It's hard to tell though, because if it did, they wouldn't tell you because then they'd be responsible for, I don't know.
It is terrible in Mexico. The problems of the cartels having a war.
Mexican spec is horrible. I wish that the people in Mexico did not have to face that. I don't know how they can fix that problem.
They
I
know how
mean,
they can
it's the
fix it.
reason why a lot of people from Mexico are desperately trying to get into the United States. And if we're not careful in the United States, our
We have the same problem.
corruption will devolve into stuff like that. Like, you think it couldn't happen, but it's like,
It's already happening in some places.
in some places, it's already sort of like that.
Uh, yeah, it's to the point in Mexico where it's like I don't understand it well enough. I know what's going on, but I don't understand all the political stuff. Yeah, I know what's going on. Uh, they substitute the sugar for something else. Real cow butter. It's all I use for my cookies. Oh, the butter is great. I buy big chunks of butter, but no cookies. No cookies. I can eat one cookie sometimes if I and somebody said don't read the labels. I have to read all the labels.
Have to. His sugar will go through the roof and he'll get
I
sick.
actually have it under control right now.
He does. Better than he has in a decade.
He went way out of control the day of the crash, and I think the crash, does adrenaline do something? I don't know. Something happened to my blood sugar that day. Just whoop. I mean, just instantly.
Yeah, all that adrenaline was, I'm sure, pushed you over the edge. And yeah. Lester LeSabre. Yeah, and the thing of it is right. It's like I really don't know what's true. I just think that a lot of it's been distorted. I
Okay,
know it's distorted. I just don't know
Tavo's
fully.
Tavo's taking off.
Oh,
Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for sharing your pictures. And yeah, have fun at work.
okay. I hope you get some other employees, Tavo. I hate to see you getting stuck
Okay,
with all
I'm
the
sorry.
work.
I interrupt you because I know he's leaving.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. We watching Tavo a lot. I could pull that down.
Oh, Irish
Oh,
butter does
whoops,
sound delicious.
whoops. I'll have to pull up something else.
Did I bring you guys any no name national cookies? No 38 racing, but we kind of steer away from stuff like cookies because I have a soybean allergy and he has the diabetic. So there's like, we just, stress elevates your sugar. There you go. That makes sense though, that the body would pump you
Oh,
full of
does it?
sugar.
Yes, stress elevates your sugar. Okay, that makes complete sense then because my sugar was really under control and I had this huge, terrible
Yeah.
crash and I'm in the
To give you
in
extra
the
energy to get
in the
away. That sounds
in the
normal.
ambulance. They checked my sugar just half a mile from the crash, and my sugar was like 189 or something. I go, what?
Fast Dang 89, yes. He's diabetic, but he's not insulin dependent diabetic anymore because he was able to lose about 100 pounds. And we eat at home and we're very careful about reading labels and selecting what we prepare. It's a lot more work than just running around eating at restaurants or fast food, but it seems like it's managed now with medication, daily medication, but not even high dosages. I think that you could take a lot more
Yeah,
of those
there's
pills.
stuff called metformin, and I'm pretty much at the limit on the metformin.
Are you?
Yeah.
So we have to be careful. But you're in check. Before you were on metformin, and it wasn't even. Oh, Irish butter is mixed with seed oils. See, I have to stay away from margarine because of the soybean oils. And yeah, a lot of baked goods they use the oils. Oh, this is a pretty car. Whose car is this?
Somebody I don't know who it was. It's something similar to what um, Kiwi's doing.
Kiwi.
It's similar to his, but not the same. This is somebody put it's a '67 Cougar, and they put a '67 Mustang Fastback on it, top on it. Of course, there were no Fastback Cougars, but the
Ah,
everything lines up.
Kiwi
So,
is doing one.
except Kiwi used a '69 top, which doesn't fit at all. But of course, he's pretty good body man. He made it fit. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Just
Support your local Cougars.
there's an ochre limit for buff. You're right. Yeah, I ate some okra at Lambert's, and I was worried about it, but it was so good I couldn't stop. But
Yeah,
I
let
did
him have
stop. I did
some.
stop. I probably had about 7 or 8 pieces, something like that,
Yeah,
and it was like, okay, I got to stop.
it's okay to indulge occasionally, especially when we were doing a lot more activity. He was burning a lot more sugar than he normally would.
But I can eat all the okra I want if it's not fried. If it's just okra, and I do that sometimes. And that sounds good. We got some okra in there. I should dive into that.
Oh, that's right. Is it frozen, right? Or
No,
canned?
it's in a can.
Oh,
I still have one can left. Okra in a can can be really good, or it can be all full of stems and everything, and the brand doesn't seem to make any difference. It's just the
it's
can you get.
the day it's
I don't know.
harvested,
So I
probably.
get tired of eating the stems and the pieces of wood and everything, and then I'll get a good can. So I don't know. I should open that because I like it.
Best Thing 89 says, as I've aged, if I have too much sugar, it puts me in a coma. Can't eat tons of sweets. I noticed how sore I felt after eating bread. We hardly ever have bread in the house, and I bought bread for the hot dogs, and my muscle soreness is way off the charts. And I guess it's because I'm not sure if it's because of the wheat inflammation, because I usually don't eat wheat, because
Danny,
I forget what that's
Danny
called.
Boyd's you've been lurking in here. So all of a sudden he saw this.
Welcome to the stream, Dan.
I always
JB
did wish.
married a cougar. Nice.
I always wish they. I always wish they made cougar fastbacks.
See, he loves cougars, and why don't you marry one? Well, he did. Good job. Uh, I had a 72 convertible I bought from California, but it was from Massachusetts. Lots of rust. Ooh. Yeah, never buy a northern car if you're from the south because just buy a southern car. Always buy a car from further south. That's the thing I've learned in this country. Always buy a car that's been born and raised and lived further south than wherever you are. Never buy one from north of you because you'll be unhappy. But that's not okay. It's not 100% rule, but it's like always search south of you. And be careful that somebody didn't bring it. Never buy a truck that has a plow on it. Never buy a truck that has unless you're going
Wow.
to plow with
Hey,
it for one more season because nobody sells a plow truck that isn't broken in half. And yeah.
Mexican says his bread turns into sugar in your system, and that's why my father used to say, "Don't eat anything white." And I would go bread, potato, rice. It's like all that stuff. It
White
just,
flour
it
might as
just,
well just be
just,
granulated sugar. It's like
just.
this far from it chemically. It
That's why
just goes turns right into sugar.
I'm counting carbs. It just all turns into sugar.
Oh, look, see, even Lot Burns confirmed it. Bread is just two sugar molecules fastened together. Yeah, 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 it really is. It breaks down quick if you need carbohydrates. But the amount of bread that commonly, like, we used to get the submarine sandwiches, right? And it was a piece of bread like yo long, like this big around, this long, split in half with meat in it. And it was enough bread, you know, to kill a diabetic horse.
Yep.
Like, and we would eat that sucker, and it was a lot of bread, too much sugar. Hey, we have to learn how to nourish our bodies.
K-
Nourish.
KJ Kylie.
Drink extra water.
I knew a cougar in high school. A teacher? They get in trouble. Oh man. Uh there's the spoiler. You don't like that spoiler. Yeah, I think that looks like it's the wing off of 69 Mach 1. Looks, if it isn't, it's darn close.
It doesn't look like the right shape.
It's the
for that
wrong thing for
car.
the car, yeah, but it's kind of interesting.
You know what? It should be narrow
I
because
don't know.
there's that break on the line of the hood. It
Yeah.
should be narrow enough that that break on the spoiler breaks in some proportion to the one on the hood.
I wonder how this project ever turned out.
Whose project is it?
I don't know. It was something
Oh,
it's
okay.
pictures,
Somebody's.
and I know it's a '67 because I could see the steering wheel, and
I got you.
nobody would add that to it. It's a 1 year steering wheel that I thought was so ugly in '67, but now I kind of like them when I see them because I know it's original. I just shrugged my shoulders and something pinched back here, something fierce. What
He's
the
sore
hell?
still.
Oh, stop! You're hitting a spot right there, right in there somewhere. There is a something that hurts like hell.
You got
Okay,
tight muscle.
just don't mess with it. Yeah.
He's got a little bit of whiplash from that accident.
Oh God.
Best thing says I only eat 2 slices of bread a day at the most. I forget what the condition is called where wheat causes lots of inflammation, and I know if I cut bread out entirely in a couple of weeks, I really notice the difference, and it's a good difference. So if you can cut out wheat, probably might try it. It might really help you.
Yeah, lack of side marker lights give it away too. It's just when I see that steering wheel, it's like, wow, somebody left the original '67 steering wheel because most people don't like
It's a
that big thing. Man, I remember, I had friends. We were like 12 years old when that came out, 13 maybe, 13, 12 or 13. We're going around to all the dealers and a bunch of young guys, we see that big thing in the middle, the '67 Fords. All the Ford products had it. And one guy says, I hate that toilet in the middle of the steering wheel. And after that, that was the toilet in the middle of the steering wheel. We hated that thing. And of course, you can push in on it and turn it, it comes right off, and you could put a logo or something in there. But they did that instead of the collapsible steering column. And the next year had the collapsible column and it had that big pad all the way across. It was even uglier. So I kind of started liking these because it still had 3 spokes and it actually didn't look that bad.
Danny
Compared to the
Boyd
new
and
ones.
Mexican Spec had the same identification, no marker lights,
Yeah.
lack of side marker lights.
Well, of course,
Danny Boyd's comment came through first.
Oh,
I award you 2 points.
2 points.
Now,
You got to
the
keep track
point
of your
system
points.
is on your honor. So, Danny Boyd, you can add 2. I don't know if you have points, but if you do, you can add 2 more. Mexican Spec, you get a consolation point. You get 1 point because you did give the correct answer, but you weren't first. So, good job, both of you.
Gluten. What is it?
Thanks for playing.
Gluten intolerance.
Gluten intolerance. Yeah, there's a lot of people who get really bad inflammation.
I see all kinds of things. I see health food store. You go in there, no gluten, no gluten. This is gluten
Gluten-free,
free and
yeah.
all this.
Celiac disease.
and then
people who have celiac disease, gluten will make them very sick.
And then I go, there's a big can. It's gluten. I go, oh, you can buy gluten?
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
all
all
this
the gluten they
gluten-free.
take out of everything else, they
Now
put
they
it in
sell
that
it?
can, and then they can sell it to people.
well, what's that special milk you like?
Lactose free.
Lactose free.
Oh, I'll go get it.
Can you buy the lactose they took out of it?
No.
No. It's also an XR7. Yeah, I saw the instrument panel. It's
Here we go.
definitely an XR7 instrument
I've got
panel.
both today. Today, here it is. This is, let's see. ultra filtered lactose free milk.
Chocolate milk.
Oh, it's so good.
Tim, let me see that.
No.
I want to see what it says on the label.
You want to see
How many carbs?
carbohydrates it
How many
is?
carbs? Yeah.
A 1 cup serving has 13 grams of carbs. Is that a lot for you?
Well, if I drank 1 cup and really didn't eat much else with carbs, I'd be okay.
If you didn't eat anything else all
No,
day,
I could have 3 cups of that. No, I could have 2.5 cups of that, and that's all I could have all
there you
day.
go.
So no, 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 no! Don't do that to me. Take that away. No,
Take it away.
you drink that.
I drink that. This is not alcohol.
Dean Stevens says lacks toes. Doesn't have any toes.
Well, that's from untreated diabetes caused that black.
Let's see. Mexican Spec says lactose free, taste free. I have to drink that stuff too.
No.
You know what? You know what, Mexican Spec? Every once in a while, I don't drink much milk, but every once in a while, I'll drink just a little bit of her milk. The lactose free. What do you get? The 2%? No, you get the whole milk.
I get the whole milk.
Okay, so it's
if you
lactose
get
free
2% or
and I
fat free,
maybe a couple times I've had like a little cup of it. I don't think it's taste free, but of course I'm not putting it right next to regular milk. I don't know.
Right.
Um,
Well, I'm allergic to almonds, but I can drink oat milk.
Almonds. Oh yeah, they have almond milk. That stuff's I didn't like that a whole lot. It's imported Irish butter. We get just butter, no seed oils. Okay, I'm reading olives like way up there because I wasn't paying attention. You're on fire tonight. Just buy regular lactose-free milk and Hershey's oat syrup. Oh, Kim,
Wouldn't it be?
My throat's killing me. What's wrong here?
Wouldn't it be almond juice? Almond juice.
You know, cows have hooves. What?
If it was almond milk, it would.
Be?
It would be the food for baby almonds. Like cheese food is not for people to eat. It's the food that cheese eats. But almond milk doesn't seem like it should be a thing. It's almond juice.
I just know stuff tastes real good. I'm probably not allowed to have it.
Basically.
How do you milk an almond? That's
You
right.
can-
Almond milk. Now I'm going to always think about that. Do they have little almond udders?
Yes. Yes. They have milk ducts.
Dark chocolate almond milk is just like eating dark chocolate covered almonds.
With water.
I just buy the bottle in the supermarket. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I drink diet
Completely
drinks.
out of the cycle. You're just
Diet drinks and
consuming.
my current thing are these little flavors that you're supposed to put in water. Only I put them in water. They're a little rich. I take a glass this big and I'll dump it in there. I'll drink about half of it down and I'll fill it up again. And then it's not too rich.
I think we entered the weird hour.
Why?
Well, we started talking about food, and we have been off. Although we have a picture, of a car up here, a Mustang up here, so it's like a car stream. KJ Kylie
says, just use hot sauce. Everything tastes better with hot sauce.
He can't do red pepper though, because the way he gets his throat gets scratchy.
Oh man, I'll start.
If I give him anything with red pepper, I can't cook with it. Even though I like that spiciness, I try and hide it in there, but he knows. If I put just a little bit in there, he starts coughing and coughing and coughing.
Man, I get one piece of that.
It irritates him the wrong way.
I'm in trouble.
But so I can't use anything that has pepper hot. We eat a lot of garlic, and black pepper doesn't seem to bother you if it has been cooked in something. Yeah. Onions, a lot of onions.
2% milk and skim milk is loaded with sugar. Yeah, if I drink milk, it's like little like
milk
that.
Is loaded with sugar. They don't add it though. It's like milk sugars.
It's like that shot glass. I might have I tasted a milk.
That shot glass had it was only a half a shot worth of.
I know, but okay. I'm just not a milk drinker. Dean Stevens, I don't want to be anything else rather than I'm always afraid to read what he writes. And you know what I've been lately? I feel sorry for the complete disorder or confusion I routinely cause. Thanks for hanging in.
Dean,
Dean, but
honestly,
yeah, you keep things rolling in here.
you're not disruptive here. I don't feel like you're
No, what the problem with
disorder and confusion. I guess disorder and confusion, but
the
it's not the
problems
like
I have
really
around
disruptive kind.
Dean is I'm not a music person, and once in a while
Yeah.
he'll start going on with something.
Sometimes it's disappointing
I'm
because
like,
we know you're telling a joke and we
"Uh,
don't know what it is at
I'm
all.
too dumb to understand the joke.
We don't understand.
Well, he's kind of interesting because he's kind of a scientist and he's a musician. He's a car guy too. But you know, you can start talking about isotopes of some element, and he's like goes right over my head after. It's like, and I don't see that. I don't see that with musicians very often. Oh, can my kind of cooling throw the good stuff in? Who cares? Can we WD got our 28.5 likes. Now we could 28.5 likes.
Now we
Do
can do
they have
whatever we
half
want.
likes? Do they have half likes?
Well, I mean, he's talking average. On average, I wonder how many likes we have.
He says
tonight.
Tob always has to cut out to go back to work. Dean never does. I think Dean works all night. I think he has a night shift job, and of course, it's it's middle of the day down there now. It's
Oh,
lunchtime. Well, and I don't know.
we're
You
keeping
see,
him awake.
Tavo and Dean are not on the same time zone, but they're close. So, yeah, because Dean's out there in New Zealand, and Tavo's he's in South Australia in one of those half time zone places. So it's really hard for me to keep track of all that. You know what we need to do on that wall up there? This is above our monitors. We have to have a string of clocks. See, when I was working,
Oh, for different times of the world.
when I was working the
Yeah,
last job, we're doing all the flight testing.
that'd be neat.
The office had all these clocks because we had people deployed all over the world. So you just glance up there and see what was going on. You know, it was pretty nice. I kind of missed that. I'd forgotten about it. About somebody eating beans. Dean only counts as half like. We could use
Bring up
it.
that picture of that orange car with the circle window on the back, just to change it up.
You know what that is?
Is it a Vega?
No,
Uh,
Kim.
oh, I'm gonna be embarrassed now because I don't know.
It's really strange one.
Gremlin?
It's like
Nova.
okay, those those Pinto vans I like. That's a
Oh,
almost
Pinto.
that's a almost Pinto van.
Would that have had a 2.8 Cologne engine?
It could have.
Okay.
And this one's even more
Like
likely
my
to have it.
Bronco too.
This one's even more likely to have it because Mexican Spec will be right on top of this as soon as I pop up the front picture of it. Yeah, everybody's going to say it's a Pinto wagon or a Pinto, but it isn't. It isn't.
It's not.
It isn't.
What is it?
It's very close. I'm trying to find my cursor. Here it is.
It's a Mercury?
It's a Bobcat.
Bobcat.
It's a Bobcat. It's a Mercury Bobcat. See, I did that once, only mine was black.
Wow.
But I had a
They were
Bobcat.
all about the cats, weren't
And
they?
yeah, Mercury had all cat names for a while. The grill, somebody did that. Mine, I used a piece of expanded metal and just put a little bend in it, made the mounts on it, painted it flat black, so it had like a grill in it, real fine mesh expanded metal, because mine didn't have a grill in it or was broken or something. And then, I always liked the vans, but I had that for a while. Mine had a 2.8 in it. Yeah, that's a very unusual car. See a Bobcat van, because they never came that way. Somebody either put the front end off a Bobcat, or somebody put the panels, which is what I would expect, off the Pinto. Sign of the Cat was slogan in the 70s. Didn't they have like a big cat up on the Up on the building, some of them.
That's right, they did.
Yeah, Mercury was the cat
My
ran for a while.
dad had a Mercury Lynx. It
Oh, the
was a little bitty.
Mercury Monarch was. That's not a cat.
It was a little economy front wheel drive car in
What?
the 80s.
What's that?
A Mercury Lynx.
Oh, Lynx. Yep. God, I wasn't even going to bring this. Oh, here we go. Here we go. It doesn't have a clone engine in it.
2.3.
It's 2.3
Real
Pinto
big
engine,
motor. Huh.
and with a somebody decided to go out of their way and
And
paint
green.
the caution fan bright yellow.
Oh.
Yeah, the
Well,
Lynx
there's a
was the
lot of other
Escort.
yellow accents on the car, so they must have thought it would be nice. They had the yellow paint out, so Lynx was an escort. Yeah, that makes sense. It was like an escort.
Man, I was looking. I don't know what. Yeah, I'm looking at cars. I don't know what it was. Some car that wasn't. It's like a Nova, maybe. It was something that I thought was a possibility. Except when I started looking at all the pictures, it was pretty bad. And he had the hood open, a ravaged-looking engine compartment, and the fan was painted bright red and then bolted on. So he thought enough of the car to take the steel four-blade fan off, paint it bright red, and bolt it back on because you could tell he'd done that. Yeah, somebody painted that engine some weird color. Yeah, and the stickers are gone from the. There's a sticker that goes right over the top of the cam cover that's missing. Yeah, it's kind of the whole car is kind of a strange looking thing.
Wonky McWolferson.
Yeah, it's just I don't know why I'm showing this thing, this silly car. Because Kim wanted to see the back of it.
The colors. It was pretty.
She wanted to see the back of it. Well, we have other Mercuries here. I'm in the Mercury section. This is
I
a.
just wanted to get off the food topic and get it on back to
Well,
cars. Ooh, that's a pretty car. What is that?
that's a. I can't get it up
You need
there
it up
high
more?
enough. Yeah, somehow if you can do that.
There's a lot of sky.
Yeah,
in
there.
that
It's a
image.
19. It's a 1960 Mercury station wagon, and it's. You notice there's no B pillar, which was Mercury did that for quite a few years on the wagons.
I don't like those wheels on that car. I don't know why.
Yeah, they
They don't
they
fit.
don't fit the car.
No.
Yep.
I don't know what would, but that's not quite right. The rest of the car looks pretty cool.
What's wrong with the Maverick lights? Going to be. What's this? What's wrong with Maverick lights? I'm going to be publishing for sale a 70 Falcon Maverick soon with 289 and 3 on the tree. Man, is it in good shape? Is it crazy expensive? 70 Maverick.
You're baiting him, Mexican spec.
I know what I want. I want a Fox body. Yeah, green looks good on that car. I think it does too. Thing is, everybody has an old station wagon that thinks they're cool, always throws surfboards in the back of it, takes a picture of it at the beach, which, I don't know, maybe. You know what? I remember those cars. It was the SUV back then. Parents and a bunch of kids in the back. That's what I always remember.
Click on some other angles of that. That's a pretty nice.
Oh, I
Pretty
have
nice
another
looking
picture
ride.
with the hood open
Yeah.
here.
Zoom her in. I like that front end too. That's a nice car. Pretty shiny. Wish the pictures were a little more. I wish the pictures were a little. Did you get any more emails?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not looking at emails. Man, you're like, hurry up, put up more pictures. Well, what about the emails? There's that is the stock instrument panel, but not the stock steering wheel, obviously.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't look like stock upholstery either.
Is that a Coddington car? I have no idea who made that, who jazzed that up into whatever it is. What's this? Oh, that's the back. Oh, look, no dual facing, or not dual facing, no rear facing seat. Oh, that's strange for a Mercury. No rear facing seat. So Mercury's kind of the
It's a Sobe branded.
Mercury is the higher class car than the Ford, higher priced car.
Sobe is some kind of energy drink. It was branded with Sobe stickers, so I think maybe it was a sponsored build.
It's a 1960. That was a 1960. And that was actually, I think that front end, I'll pop it back up here again. That is stock. That's how the headlights look. That's how the grill looked. I remember those real well. We had a neighbor like right around the corner, and girls in my class, her sister's like a year older than me, and her parents bought a 1960 Mercury wagon, did not have the wood on the side, and it was kind of a real light pink, almost white color. I remember her coming to school and she was all excited and she's sharing time, little kids, like first grade. She goes, "Our car is broken in." So the teacher says, "What's that mean?" And she goes, "Well, my parents drove it and then they said it was broken in." It was brand new, 1960 Mercury. Blue, then black, then no color. What happens? Deluxe overhaul, like washing the fence. Wagons that had the rear facing seat so 9-year-olds can flip the bird at troopers. Oh, geez. Yeah. Here's I don't know if that's a 55 or 6. The Mercury's, I can't tell the difference.
That looks like
I
that would
I'd have to look at the steering wheel to know the difference.
be made get made into an ambulance. Is that the kind of car they would have made into an ambulance?
Maybe it's not the high top. See, 56 Ford was the same body, same door, same everything, different chrome trim, different taillights, and that big Mercury emblem on the tailgate wasn't there. But the tailgate was like that when you put the tailgate down. See that license plate light bullet thing sticking out? That would go like this when you put the tailgate down. That thing would stay level with the ground. How do I know that? We had one. Ours was a Ford, but same pieces and parts.
It is a Boyd Coddington build.
Oh, it could have been.
It makes
Bully.
sense. It was definitely a Sobe sponsored build.
And yeah, I think that's not a bad looking car. I think 57s were better. I have one picture of a 57 here, 57 Mercury wagon, but it's got skirts and non-stock stuff on it. I don't like those. The skirts don't belong on there, and I don't really
Mm.
like the wood, but I like those. I
Mm.
like those, whatever those weird fins are and those weird taillights. I kind of think that kind of looks good. And once again, this is the first year Mercury uh got rid of the B pillar on the wagons, made it like a hard top, because that's what they call the ones without the B pillars, a hard top. Yeah, it has deflectors to keep the window clean. Supposedly, I don't know how well it worked, but maybe it worked. Uh, isn't the 57 Mercury a bigger? You know, in 56, the Mercury and the Ford were the same body. In 57, they were not, and you're right about that. In 57, they were much different cars, and I'm sure the Mercury had a longer wheelbase. That's a 57, Dan. Here's a 59. I don't think I have a wagon, do I? Oh yeah, here's a wagon, 59. And you see the this scooped out or sculpted part is much longer and the taillights are huge compared to the 57 and 58. I mean, they're really trying to make them look like rockets. 59 was that bizarre year that everything was gaudy, like 59 Cadillacs. 59 Chevys had the big bat wings on the back. Oh, that was probably one of the milder ones. And uh, what else was I thinking of? Mercury's like this. 59 Fords had those big pods that came back above the taillights. And oh, you remember all the crazy fins and things in 59. That was the craziest one. The top two trims of the 58S were the big body and the two lower trims. Yeah, that's right. But the panels were all the same. Panels were all different on the Edsel. But yeah, it was the bigger and the smaller frame cars. Crushing package Bobcat and Pintos. What the Bubble Boy 79 wagon was just $566 on them. And Yeah, that was a lot of money then.
That was 20% of the cost
That
of the
was a lot of
car.
money then. I want to go back to that car. There's one of these for sale. It's a Pinto. I've looked at it over and over and over, but the guy wants $8,500 for it. It's a pretty nice one, but he wants $8,500 for it. I just can't bring myself to spend $8,500 on a Pinto. And it still needs a little, it's a Pinto that somebody kept the paint fairly nice on it, but the clear coat, somebody clear coated it, blue clear coat. But it's just I don't know, it's $8,500. Good money if it was a Ford or Mercury dealer's cut. Can you look up
Yeah.
um, Facebook Marketplace for like put in like 100-mile radius? Oh, why did I move my head so quickly? Youch. Ah. And then put in their Pinto, and it'll probably come up. There's a blue Pinto van in there. Yep, there it is. First one to come up. That's it. That one.
Hold on, I gotta get to there.
Oh, okay. You got to get it over there.
They want to see what we're talking about
Okay.
here.
Yeah, I thought you had it up there because I was looking at the wrong monitor. Yeah,
Let me get us a little smaller
smaller,
so they can see what's
smaller
going
people.
on.
Now we'll fit in it.
Whoop. Look, we're floating around. Wee. Okay.
Buff, do you know if the Pinto Cruiser wagons were built at the factory or farmed out? I believe they were built at the factory, although I don't know because Ford did some of that. But uh, I don't know. I've taken them apart. I've taken the panels off of them. I've taken the inner panels out. They look so much like Ford stuff. I don't know. I mean, Ford advertised them pretty heavily, and they were available dealers. I guess they could have been farmed out. I don't know. That's a partial cruising package. Okay, so that. Okay, just stop there. It's okay, I guess, but look, there's a picture of the top of the hood. See if you find the picture of the top of the hood. Yeah, look at that. I mean, that's what the paint looks like. So he buffed it out, but the car needs paint. So it's not quite as good as it looks. When I look at the interior, somebody hacked a gauge into it. I don't know what that is. It's like, okay, would I really pay $8,500 for a Pinto? Oh, it's not a gauge. It's a bunch of gauges there. And then I don't know what that bunch of dials is. Oh, you went away already. Above right in front of the shifter, there's a tray. That's stock. But then there's a thing with knobs that's in front of above the tray. I have no idea what that is. That's some kind of non-stock stuff. And
it
then
looks like it's I don't want to say.
yeah, this one's a clone engine.
It says a V6, yeah.
Yeah, can you click a little more? There is a oh, Dougster's here. When did Dougster come? Oh, there he is. Yeah, have no fear. Um
Welcome
click
to the stream, Dogster. You're very late tonight. I hope everything's going good.
click forward again. There's yeah, that. And see, it's got the panels over. Somebody put screws in it, so I don't know why those screws are in the panels there. They look redone to me, so I don't know. It's like I
It's a
don't know.
very old car,
But
yeah.
and the headliner's in good shape. That's a good thing. But click a little further. The first thing I notice is it did have air conditioning, and it's gone. And I asked him about that, and he said I don't remember what he said. Something like it needs a compressor or something. But then I look over there. Oh, and then why are the heater hoses going into the inner fender? I don't know why they're routed around that way. I don't remember them being like that. So, um, I don't know. Just $8,500 for a Pinto? I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see the value there.
Yeah, $1,200 for a Pinto if it's really good, maybe. Yeah, see the rest of it, but the van. You know, he bought one and buffed it all out and detailed it so it looks good. And it's in front of some kind of hot rod shop, but I don't know. Oh, knobs look like vintage air controls. Oh, you know what? That's what it could be. That's what he told me. He goes, I started to put vintage air in and then never finished the job. That's what he said. So that's what he did. He put the controls in. Oh, there's another one. See, now that one is probably a piece of crap, but it's $2 grand. That's really unusual one because it doesn't have the porthole. Not many of them did not have the porthole, but a few of them did not have it. I don't know. I'm the wagon delivery was a 78 introduction. It's not an authentic cruising package. Oh, so there were two different ones. Ah, see, I didn't know that. Shit, I had them. I didn't know that because mine were like 74 or something. Because I had a bunch of those. Every time there were panels available, I snapped them up. What I should have done was pulled a mold off them, but I didn't know how to do fiberglass then. And then I would have had, I would have had molds to make them. So now I don't have a set. But the chances of me having a Pinto wagon to convert is probably next to nothing. I yeah, see, it's a four-door wagon. That's a Mercury. That's a pretty much ravaged car. I don't really want to go to all the ones I've been looking at.
Here, look how perfect this one is.
Oh, geez,
Let's
Camp.
laugh at this.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's what I want.
Look, it's got the back scoop and the forward scoop.
What, the air goes in and then it comes out?
And then it comes back out.
I don't know.
Okay.
What do you
Okay.
do? You need a sunroof so you can stick your
Look at-
head up there and see where you're
look
going. The wheel. How much? $1,000.
$1,000. Nobody wants this thing. Oh, it's a drag car.
Oh, they made it. I'm not sure what they made out of.
Mess. They made a mess out of it, is exactly it. It probably doesn't have a title.
Oh, that's the other thing. I see a lot of cars that are like, oh, that's a pretty good deal. And I start reading it, it'll say, like, no title. Come on. What is it? You quit paying for the car and can't get the title?
Yep,
You know,
that's
what's the
it,
problem?
every
you
time.
know?
Guys, we're in overtime. It's more than 3
Oh,
hours.
what time is it? Well, Dougster just showed up. I got to show some better pictures.
19 every Dougster says 1987 called and they want their hood scoops back.
We got to put up something better. See, this is just hot. Oh, you took my picture away.
I was looking at you wanted me to look
Okay,
at Facebook.
yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so I decided to bring the quality up a little bit. And yes, that's a 67. No side marker lights. You can't see the steering wheel, but still, that's a pretty decent looking car. 38, never had a Pinto wagon. Had several Vega wagons. I had one Vega wagon. Oh man, my Vega wagon. It had been along the coast of California, where near the ocean, and the salt air used to get in the trim around the windows. And that Vega, I could lay my hand flat on the dashboard, slide my hand further, and I could touch the outside of the window, outside of the windshield, because that whole thing was rusted out. And it wasn't a very old car.
We are still going because that's what we do. Last night we were live in the shop for almost 5 hours. As long as you guys are still here and have stuff you want to talk about, we'll keep going.
I didn't bring it up because of the seafoam green color, although I don't mind that at all. It's just the quality of the car looks. I mean, that looks like a good car, you know. If that was for sale in my price range, I'd be looking at it, going, "Hey, that's pretty nice." Oh God, something isn't right. It says 67 on the license plate. Oh, it does. I just knew what it was because it's doesn't have the side marker lights.
Oh.
Kim's taking another break. What are you doing? Get more food? She's gonna sneak more food in. Oh, here's something I remember. I remember this. 1957, our local police department had these. And I remember that. My father was like a witness to something. I had a crash or something. The police came over to the house. And I remember the police officer got out and he was driving a car. It was black and white, just like that, but it had the city police emblem on it. A big antenna like that on the back. And I remember talking to the police officer, you know. And it was 57. I don't, it's been 3 years old, but I remember looking at that. So that just seems so strange for police to be driving that. Signal 20. What's a Signal 20? I remember we had movies called Signal 30 that were bad. Sure Witness. Yeah, no, my dad never wrecked a car. Oh, well, he didn't until he got really old, and then he got rear-ended and destroyed a car. But yeah, like he came over and he came out as a group of kids there. Of course, I was all interested in the car, so I talked to the cop for a minute. He's a polite guy, young guy. Ooh, why'd that move? Roger Crawford special when he wasn't a Buick or a Dodge. Yeah, I know Roger Crawford. You read about him, and he had a problem with drinking and driving, and the Highway Patrol, California Highway Patrol, really liked him because he did a lot of good for the Highway Patrol. But he's also a drunk driver, so they had a big problem with him. And there's a double-edged sword. Well, here's a Mercury I like. Where's a good picture? This is a pretty good one. That's me in probably about 1979. That's my 67 Cougar. A friend of mine. You can't see the engine there because Kim's got me too big. Maybe I can't slide it over. It's called Highway Patrol. There's a Cougar, this body style a kid drove to high school about 10 years ago. During high school, he painted it candy, green metallic, Granny Smith apple. It was wrong on the car. Yeah, I can believe that. Oops. Why didn't that come? Oh, I have to cough again. What is wrong? For some reason my pictures aren't coming up. What is wrong? Something's not working right. Kill out. What happened here? Oh, it's not a, okay, I'll have to go to this. Yeah, that's the engine in that Cougar. I can't move it. Kim's got me locked. I don't know how to unlock where I'm sitting. Yeah, that was my maybe I can move. Yeah, it was a 327 Chevy. You know, with a turbo 400 in a 67 Cougar. The worst part about that car is the headers were custom made the headers and they're really tight. And that's before there was any Mustang 2s around. The Mustang 2 was a pretty new car then, so nobody was using the front ends on them and getting rid of those spring towers. I would have done that had that been available. Because that to get the plugs out, you really had to pull one of the headers. You had to jack the engine up. Big pain in the ass. Yeah, that yeah, those Highway Patrol shows are still on YouTube, I guess. I love the black '59 Chevy Biscayne four-door he drove with a 348 in one episode. Really? People in the comments will tell you where the episode was filmed. Yeah, yeah, that's right. I've seen that where the comments they tell where it was and you go look and it's like you can barely recognize it, but sometimes you can. Ford tough with Chevy stuff. Yeah, you know what happened? That thing had a 289 in it originally. And I had a girlfriend that drove it one night, and the oil pressure sending unit was starting to leak oil, starting to drip. Well, it got a lot worse while she was driving it, and she drove it to her house, which is like 12 miles away, and it was out of oil by the time she got there. She didn't know any better. So that engine, there wasn't a piece in that engine that didn't rattle after that. So I got some kind of error coming up here. Okay, just kill that. So man, something's happening there. I got to reach over here to Kim's controls and see what's going on. So that car sat around for a while, and then I had another car that I don't know. I had this engine, and I was like, I put a Chevy in it. I don't know if that was a smart idea, but I put it in there. 327, that manifold headers, turbo 400. That was a backward shifting one, that you pull it, goes from first, second, third. 556 gears in the rear end. It was a one block at a time racer, street racer. This is the channel. Class, I don't know what that is. I did a 283 in a 64 Comet Caliente. Really? That's how I say if I end up with a Fox body, I always say, I could either build the six that's in it when I feel like it's somewhere, just build an engine, put it in like probably in one night, or I could build a 302 or a 351. I could do that, and then I kind of laughed at Kim and I said, or I could put my Chevy in it because I could do it. But I don't know if I'd do that to a Fox body. I know people put. There's a lot of them that have. What do you call them? LS Chevys in them. Okay, who knows what year that is? It's kind of a one-year body style. Mercury. Hmm. Cope's back. Or maybe you're just there lurking. Ah, I can't believe it. Mexican Spec, you got it wrong. Now you got it right. 65. I remember those big blade front end, those big turn signals up there. Even more prominent than a 63 Plymouth. That I remember when those came out, I thought, wow, those even better than the 63 Plymouth. But actually, I think the 63 Plymouth looks better. Put a small block in it, call it a Mustang. Or a Moustang. Moustang. Oh, yeah, we used to. Now, if I yeah, you got it wrong and right. The I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, if I get a Fox body, it'll be a Fairmont, not a Mustang, unless Mexican Spec comes with a notchback that I really like, and because the Mustangs just go for more money than the Fairmonts, and I like the Fairmont. I like the Fairmont, the Futura, the little Futura coupe with the kind of chop top looking thing. And sadly, they don't have them in Mexico, or I think Mexican Spec would have found me one. Colt, not much. Ready to hit the hay. All right. Well, thanks for being in here. Thanks for hanging out with us. I don't know how much longer we're gonna hang out. Yeah, yeah. I understand the mouse and the rat motors. Man, I have a machine shop next door to um, my first radiator shop. And that they were all Chevy guys. So most of them had rat motors, but a few of them had mouse motors. Yeah, they were all into the rat motors, which at the time The 454 was a pretty new engine. They were mostly 396s and 427s. Mostly the guys that had the good cars were 427s. There's a notchback fairly close to me, but the town is closed right now. Yeah, okay, well, that's sad. I don't have my money yet. I'll probably have the money within a few days. And then I'm gonna get serious about buying probably a Futura. Or what's the Mercury called? Zephyr Z7 or ZR7 or something. Oh god. So Cope, C4 Fords. Does anybody do anything with those anymore? Oh, I guess so, because that's what um oh, what's his name? Andy Wood. That's what Andy Wood has, isn't it? Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, because if I get a Fairmont Futura, I'm likely to end up building something that's going to have a C4 behind it, like a 351 Windsor or 302, or some derivative of that engine. Eventually, I want something to drive right now. Once I have one of my other cars reliable, then then I'll then I'll do something with the Fox body car. You're going to have to settle for an inline six, most likely, if you tear over there. You know, you're right. Most of them have sixes in them, but I find a few of them have four cylinders in them, have the 2.3. Well, the 2.3 is an easy V8 swap because I've done it many, many times. The inline six, I think the cross member is different. So I don't know. Time will tell. I, right now, I just need a car that I go out, start it, and drive it, and I need something that's not all ratty inside. Trying to find an older car with low miles, and they're out there. I mean, there's quite a few of them out there. So yeah, like some older people that had a Futura and put 80,000 miles on it in the last 40 years, that kind of thing. And they're out there, just gotta have to drive a little to get it, but that's not a big deal. Andy loves the C4 so much. That truck is amazing with a C4 in it. So I guess build a C4 and put it in a Fairmont Futura. And I think those cars I don't think they're any heavier than the Mustang. They might even be lighter than the Mustang. My Futura was, back then, that had a 302 in it. And that thing was pretty quick. Not like Andy's truck, but I mean, it was for a street driven car, it got with the program. And it has C4 in it. But I wish I had that car back enough that I'd probably go find one of these. I'd like to have one. Look, I'm bringing a trailer. I'm looking everywhere. Look, I'm everywhere. Lot Burns, you're taking off. Okay, great having you here. Thanks for sticking around so long. And it's always fun to have you here. Have a good night. Intervention or lobotomy? They still do those? Kim, where'd you go? She's gone. You okay? You okay? Oh, I didn't mean to advertise for this guy. I just meant to put this car up here. Uh, oh well, doesn't matter. I just want to put a different car up. Dean Stevens, the same weight. Those 5 and an 1/8 inch wheelbase didn't yield less weight in the Capri or Mustang Foxes. Yeah, what was the? I don't even know what the wheelbase of the Futura was. Is that it was different than the Capri or the Mustang, the Fox Mustangs? I don't know. See, I had several Fairmont wagons, and then I had that Futura coupe, and I just, man, I always wanted one of those. I wanted that one back. Girlfriend at the time when we split, of course, she got the car I wanted. So so that's when it went away. But I've always kind of liked those. My grandmother's 95, still has her 97 Chrysler Concorde, bought new, garage kept. Dealer service has 99,000. I bet. Oh yeah, I don't know if Cope's still here. What's the deal with C4s with what was the deal? We just were talking about this with the C4. Was that you? It was last night on the live. We were talking about something with the C4 with the they lose reverse. Why do they lose reverse? Because I find uh, I found one of these Fairmonts that I'm looking for, but it's a C4. It has no reverse. It was a 302 Ford, so I assume it's a C4, and no reverse. And like everybody knew what it was, and everybody was different. I don't know, what is that? Are you faster on Google than I am? Spider-Mantic. Okay, so it's 100.4 versus 105.5. So which was which? 5 and 8. I was thinking the little Futura coupe might actually be a little lighter, but I'm not sure. You can see it was guzzler locked up due to lack of use. Don't know. But everybody acted like it was like a common problem with C4s. I've had a lot of cars with C4s that were most of them were stock. Never had problems with them.
Yeah, but they were much newer cars
Yeah,
then.
yeah, but that so I don't know why I didn't know there was a reverse problem with them. C4 low reverse servo lip seals get hot. Oh, somebody said that. Some kind of seals the seals go out or something. Okay. So that's a so what's get destroyed when somebody keeps trying to put it in reverse? Or is that just all that happens? You take it apart and fix it. Man, that's something. If I were like 10 years younger, maybe 20 years younger, I'd go up there and just volunteer work for Cope for a while. Just
You would learn a lot.
because I don't know anything about automatics. Like the whole car is not a mystery to me until the automatic. And it's like I sort of know what goes on. Like power goes in and either power comes out or disappointment comes out. But and I kind of know what all that stuff is. You've been in automatics more than I have been. And it has an internal cross leak or blow by. Man, hard seal. Many ways to explain the aquatic wildlife. Yeah, a hard seal. There's that jet engine I used to work with had a big dome in the front where the air came around and went in the intake, and it was a big O-ring around there when you put that dome on there. It was called a nose dome. Well, that O-ring was called the nose dome seal. So, nose dome seal. We always said it was an animal that lived in there. Ar, 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 inside the nose dome. Because we were young and stupid in the Air Force. You had to make up stupid jokes. Howdy, everyone. Buff, are you more into smaller cars or larger cars? I'll tell you what, to me, the car I keep looking at right now is the Fairmont Futura Coupe or the Mercury version of it, which is a Zephyr something Z7 or something. Of course, the Fox body, the notchback Fox body Mustangs. I mean, that's perfect, but the problem with that is that they bring out, well, first of all, a lot of them raced, beat up, ruined, crashed, everything, and then they want a lot of money for them, you know. And the other Fairmonts, the box top Fairmonts, the tops are really high. Station wagon, yeah, I don't know, maybe, but I want the I want the lower top, and I don't want to have to chop the top. I want to get in the car and just drive it. Kim, are you whooped? Have you had it? You look like you've had it. We've been here 3.5 hours. You know what?
It's been swell, but the swelling has gone down.
Look at this. We have a D104 that I can go like this.
You guys are great.
Doesn't
I
get
wish I
hotter.
could. I wish I could go. Really, I do. I wish I could do this for like endlessly because we have fun.
You know what we'll do?
But we could come back again
Well,
soon.
either pretty soon, within the next couple of days, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day,
We'll be
maybe the
in the
next day,
shop, yeah.
we'll be in the shop. Well, tomorrow we won't be. Well, we could be, not early because tomorrow night is
AHRA.
Dallas. Yeah, it's AHRA Dallas, and whoever's on with
I mean,
Dallas
Probably be out there working,
will
and we
be.
might turn the live on.
Yeah,
But
I never miss that. I never miss that
no,
live. Uh,
that's a
with
good thing.
Dallas and Shane or Dallas and John Wilburn, whichever group's on there, it's that one. Chevy Vegas. You know what the problem with Vegas is? Try to find a good one. You know, I had Vegas when they were 5 years old, and they had rust holes, giant rust holes in them. And I was in Southern California where nothing rusts. I don't know. Yeah, I like Vegas, but probably not.
Thank you
Teacher,
for being here, Dogster.
my teachers used to send me out of class for 5 minutes, but then I
I
think,
know, Dean. I can see that in you. That just gives you the opportunity to come up with some more stuff. Guys, we are going to be back really soon. Our regular late in the week streams start closer to 10 or 10:15 or 10:30, depending on what's happening around here. And we will be working on my Dodge Dart.
You know what? Some people sent me pictures. I wasn't paying attention. So this is what I'm gonna do. They're just gonna sit there, and next Tuesday night we'll start with those stuff from Lot Burns and stuff from Tim. So we'll start next week with next Tuesday night. We'll start with those pictures.
Okay, so thank you everyone for contributing your comments, your photos, your opinions, your food suggestions, your dietary restrictions. What else did we talk about?
Everything.
Your favorite cars and all those things. We appreciate you being here. We love being here for you, with you, about you, and us. And you have entertained us, and we hope that at least in some part we have entertained you, and we will do it again very soon here. It seems like we are getting a lot of interest, new people regularly, and that seems good for everyone because it keeps it entertaining.
We have a good time here.
Yeah, so we'll do it again soon. We will not be in the studio until next Tuesday. We'll be in the shop for our next stream.
Yeah, we'll have lives between now and next Tuesday. So
right, but we'll be in the garage and we won't have the green screen. So you'll have to pardon that we can't do a whole lot of that stuff, but we'll be working on the Dart. We've got motors, and I have welding to do on the frame, and we still have to go up to the shop tonight and figure out some tool shorts for you to
I haven't
do.
done a short yet.
Yep. See, it's not over, but you can't stay here.
I could do a short in the kitchen, cooking a hot dog or something.
You could.
Okay.
You could put some mayonnaise on a hot dog and just
Okay.
piss everybody off.
All right. Well, let's say goodnight.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Yep.
Thanks a lot.
Good night. Take care.